Hey guys, Weeby News here, and today we are back with more Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. I'm hoping to finish it out today. I think we're about like halfway through the side stories. We also probably will have some new emails to read, which I am super duper excited about. I had so much fun on my last video, like looking at all the emails and like the files and coming up with theories and stuff. I really like how much like thought and effort's put into this game. I can tell like there's a lot of love put into it by like Team Salvato, and it makes me like feel really passionate about like analyzing it. Like I had so much fun making like the theory portion of the last video, so I hope you guys enjoyed that. But yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into the game. Okay, next up we have Balance, which is going to be about Sayori and Natsuki, it looks like. Let's go ahead and start. I feel like they're kind of similar for the most part. I guess they still got like differences, but I feel like Sayori was a lot nicer to Natsuki and like more understanding than like Monica and like especially Yuri. Natsuki! While Natsuki is messing around with the orientation of her manga in the closet shelves, Sayori approaches from behind and pulls her into an embrace. What? that was a weird voice. What the fuck was that? It was way too nasally. What? Hi. Hi. The Literature Club has been in full swing since Natsuki joined. Is she like annoyed with Sayori? Including her, the club is now comprised of 4 members: Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, and Monica. Each club member had received a day in the spotlight to share all of their favorite kinds of literature with each other. Natsuki was first and shared her passion for manga. Then Sayori shared her love for poetry, as well as how she goes about writing it herself. Monica, who has multiple literary interests, decided to focus her day on short stories. And finally, Yuri managed to demonstrate her obsession with fantasy with a little help and encouragement from Sayori. She kind of brought this really creepy, weird book to class about like human experimentation. Then she started wanting to like experiment on us. It was a little freaky, but whatever. We were just like, oh, that's Yuri. She's so cute with her third eye. Oh, Yuri. Summoning Satan, how funny. After the week was spent on their presentations, Monica decided to give the club members this week to freely explore each other's literary interest. Sayori, having spent most of her time in the club so far with Yuri's fantasy books, is rather excited to begin her journey into Natsuki's manga collection. I want to read with you today. Tell me which one I should pick. Well, that depends on the kind of stuff you like. I mean, there's like romance, drama, comedy, mystery, ecchi. What was that last one? Never mind. Don't worry about it. I like all of those things. Sayori reaches out and pulls a random book from the shelf and inspects the cover. Shouldn't this girl be wearing more clothes? See, I told you there's something called ecchi here. You wouldn't like that one. Oh no, she found my ecchi collection. You wouldn't like that one. In a panic, Natsuki snatches the book from Sayori's hand, then replaces it on the shelf in a less conspicuous location. Well, okay, if you really have no preference, then let's just start with something that's easy to get into. No, I kind of like that last one. No, you don't. Stop it. A lot of these don't start to get really good until like a few volumes in, and I wouldn't ask someone to make that kind of commitment unless they're already really into manga. I could handle it. I did with Yuri's book at least. Well, I'm more considerate than that. Although I'm kind of impressed by your attention span if you put that much effort into her freaking boring lame books. What was I? No, I have the attention span of a donut. But I love my friends, and I can do anything if it's for them. Well, okay then. Let's pick you something that even donuts can read. I didn't say I was a donut. I just had the attention span of one. Ah, were you just trying to call me sweet? You're so cute. No, how did you get to that conclusion? I was making fun of you. And don't call me that. A donut? Cute. How come? Oh yeah, I kind of forgot. They butted heads a little bit with that. Sayori was a lot more understanding, but she was just like, you're so cute, Natsuki, so precious. I just want to pinch your little cheeks. I can see that kind of pissing her off. I just don't like it. I don't need a reason. Natsuki yanks a book from the shelf and closes the closet doors. If somebody asks you to stop, then you just need to stop. People need to realize that. I'm sorry. I really didn't mean to hurt you. Nah, sorry, it wasn't you. Natsuki shakes her head while pulling a second chair over to her desk. I was talking about something else. I didn't mean to get angry all of a sudden. Natsuki averts her gaze and mumbles. You're like a nice person, so I wasn't talking about you. Yeah, she's just talking about her friends. Her friends. I still learned a valuable lesson. Sayori speaks softly as well, feeling shy after receiving the unexpected compliment. Well, anyways, there's the book, so just start it whenever you feel like it. What's it about? Well, it's like a comedy and there's like romance too, obviously. Sayori looks at the title. It's called Love is Another Word for Luck. It's about a girl who keeps accidentally running into the same guys, and then you find out like, well, you should just read it, but you have to tell me what you think. I can already guess who you're gonna ship yourself with. It would be so funny if I'm right. Ship? I don't know what that means. Never mind, let's not worry about that yet. Once you read this and become a weeb, you'll get it. Just make sure you tell me what you think. Oh, okay. I'll start then. Wait, hey, maybe tomorrow we can do poetry too. Oh, yeah, I guess. But don't you want to finish this first? Oh, you not like poetry? Yeah, but we could do both. I mean, unless you don't like poetry, then I won't make you or anything. No, it's just... Well, never mind. You can worry about it tomorrow. Maybe she's worried about, I guess, Sayori not making fun of, but being like, this is so cute! Oh my god, it's about Amy and spiders! I love it! After the club meeting ends and Natsuki and Yuri leave, Monica strikes up a conversation with Sayori. I see you got Natsuki to share some of her manga with you. Yeah, she introduced me to ecchi! You want to read some, Monica? No, I think I'm okay. I really want to become better friends with her. She's so enthusiastic and expressive. I could just listen to her talk. She's so I'm not sure if she meant I can't say that to her or if I just can't say it at all. Say what? Nothing. I am a woman of respect. But Natsuki is a woman of cute. Oh, I said it. I guess she's going to be really bad at following her wishes. That might be what this conflict is about. What's so bad about that? I don't know. But you know, there's one thing I'm kind of worried about. Sometimes I'm afraid that Natsuki actually doesn't like me very much. Oh, that's ridiculous. How come you feel that way? Well, I mean, just little signs, like how she only says hi to me after I say hi to her first. And it feels like she only gets excited to talk to me when it's about manga and other stuff she likes. She just seems dismissive a lot. She was like that when I brought up poetry. Yeah, but that doesn't mean she doesn't like you. She's probably just shy, you know? Maybe. My stupid head is just making me worry for no reason. It likes to do that a lot. Yeah, I can tell Sayori overthinks a lot. Because that's what I do too, Sayori. I feel you, girl. It's okay. Try not to worry so much. Everything will be great. But you can always talk to me about any concerns that you have. I'm here to help. I feel like Natsuki's, just kind of worried about her not taking your poem seriously. You're the best! Sayori gives Monica a quick hug. Well, I'm gonna keep trying because I love her and I want to get closer with her. Sayori's so freaking nice. You got this. Aw, so freaking cute. I mean, wait, I'm not supposed to say cute. After the next club meeting starts, Sayori is the last one in as usual. Trotting into the room, she sees Natsuki sitting alone by the closet reading what must be manga. Without hesitation, Sayori pulls up a chair and plops herself down right next to Natsuki. Hello there! Hi. What you reading? Can I read it with you? Natsuki pulls the book away from Sayori. You can't just start in the middle, there are spoilers. Besides, what about the one I gave you yesterday? Sorry, I was just curious. Well, anyways, I've been waiting forever for this volume to come out, and it just came out yesterday, so leave me alone. Oh, that's exciting. Well, I'll let you read it then. Huh. Can I sit next to you, though? Sure. Just a blush. Sayori plops herself down next to Natsuki, then pulls out a blank sheet of paper. Natsuki reads in silence, save for the periodic flutter of a page being released from beneath her thumb. From Sayori's side, only the light tapping noises of her pen meeting the paper can be heard. Time passes. Sayori's paper is filled with scribbles, and the margins are aligned with stick figures. Natsuki lets out a deep sigh and closes her book. Did you finish? No, but it's a good stopping point. My head is swimming. I need a break. Natsuki stretches her arms. Aren't you bored? No, I was just writing. Oh, I saw the stick figures and thought you were just bored. I just draw those when I'm thinking or waiting for inspiration. I made friends with them all. Oh, this one's sad because she thinks the night sky is pretty, but she can't look up at the stars in public without everyone thinking she's a weirdo. Sayori's so cute. Gave them all little personalities. And this one has problems with his back, but the doctors can't figure out what's wrong with him. What the heck? You're the weirdo. Want to read the poem I'm working on? Sure, I guess. Sayori slides the paper over to Natsuki. As Natsuki reads through the poem, she furrows her eyebrows. She slides the paper back over to Sayori. Don't you ever feel weird just sharing all your thoughts and feelings like that? I mean, your poems are like really emotional. Is that bad? Well, no, it was just an observation. I think people can get closer to each other if they find ways of expressing their feelings. Well, Natsuki begins to protest, but she can't find a good way of putting her thoughts into words. Doesn't that depend more on the kinds of friends you have? I don't know. Teach their own, but I've never met anyone I'd feel comfortable sharing my poems with. Not that it's you, it's just how I am, so... You write poems? I guess, like, Natsuki's got, like, a pretty big wall up since she has, like, the worst friends ever. So I guess I can understand why, like, Sayori wants to be, like, open and sharing, and Natsuki, like, doesn't. So they just kind of clash a little bit in that way. You write poems? You never told me that. I thought you wrote other stuff. Yeah, that too, but you should. I mean, would you ever want to share? Like I said, I don't do that. But can we talk about something else? I'm sorry. It's not your fault. It just makes me uncomfortable. I can't help it. Still, I'm sorry. It's fine. Well, let's just move on to something that makes us both happy. I should continue the book you gave me since I didn't get very far yet. Sure. Over the next few days, Sayori begins each club meeting by approaching Natsuki with unwavering enthusiasm. It's Natsuki! Natsuki! She's like, okay, I get it. Hi, Natsuki! She's so freaking cute. You're smothering me. At the end of one club meeting, Monica, who has become rather invested in Sayori's friendship mission, starts an innocuous conversation with Natsuki while she packs up. It's cool that you've been finding time to spend with Sayori. She was pretty excited for the chance to read manga with you. Yeah. I'm sure you've been enjoying the chance to share it too, right? Yeah, mostly. Huh? Natsuki glances over her shoulder but doesn't reply further. What's on your mind? Nothing. I don't talk about people behind their backs. Oh. Natsuki falls silent, but she just fidgets instead of getting back to what she was doing, as though she wants to say more. It's okay to share your feelings. That's different from talking about someone behind their back, I guess. I hate when people talk about me behind my back, so I'm better than to do it to others. Monica shares a bright smile. God, her friends suck, dude. They totally talk crap about her all the time. You're really considerate. Thanks, I guess, but it doesn't feel like it. You can trust me. Natsuki stands in silent for a moment, still fidgeting. I feel smothered sometimes. Natsuki! She just like comes up behind. Oh God, no. She's here. She's always waiting behind the bushes. I'm not used to someone being like all over me right after we met. I mean, it's fun to hang out with her, but I just have no control over the pace. I can't just meet someone and instantly become best friends with them and like share everything about myself. That's not how it works. I just want to chill out sometimes. Oh, I didn't realize that was happening. It's fine. Why would you have? I know, I just feel bad about it. I know Sayori, so I should have realized. Monica navigates through her tinge of guilt, which has surfaced mainly due to her being the one who previously encouraged Sayori's behavior. Despite not knowing the situation, Monica can't help but feel a little responsible. Do you want me to talk to her about it? No, I wouldn't like that. Well, I don't know, I could like divert her into another club activity for you or something. No way, that would be so underhanded and mean. Sorry, I didn't think that one through. Besides, just because I complained about it doesn't mean I'm asking for someone to solve my problems for me. True, I'm sorry. I guess I just instinctively want to try to solve problems, even if I haven't been invited to. It's fine. I would talk to Sayori about it, but it would make things really weird between us. I feel like it would make her just constantly be afraid that she's bothering me. I don't know how to keep things just like natural. Well, I think if you do a good job expressing all your feelings, she would totally understand. Oh yeah, write a poem. Leave me alone. Amy feels smothered. A poem by Natsuki. Sayori really wants to be the best she can for other people. I think she would actually be happy that you want to improve your friendship with her. Maybe. It just feels so dumb, talking to someone about how to be friends with them. It's just weird and not cool. Monica shrugs. It's the literature club. None of us are cool. Then she mumbles through a stifled laugh. It's not the cool club. Hey! Sorry, that just tickled me for some reason. Look, I know that you're kind of in a tough spot and that it's hard for you to really express yourself, but you've really demonstrated to me that you're great at self-reflection and critical thinking, even if it doesn't feel like it to you. I think that's the most important part of being able to navigate through these things, so I believe that you'll find the right thing to do. Well, Natsuki instinctively starts to reject the compliment, but she can't find any excuse to do so. Thanks. Natsuki gathers her things, then she finishes her thought in a mumble. And I'm still glad I joined the club, even if it's weird sometimes. Monica smiles, but Natsuki turns her back and walks away before waiting for a reply. It was an unusual way for Natsuki to express her appreciation, but Monica knew that she meant what she meant. It made Monica feel like everything really was going to be okay. Hopefully they can work things out. That was kind of a short one, wasn't it? Or I feel like that was shorter than the other ones, at least. No new mail. Okay, balance part 2. Let's go ahead and do this. Probably get a new email after this one. It's lunchtime. Sayori, who usually buys her lunch, is making her way to the cafeteria like any other day. The clamor and bustle of the students is drowned by Sayori's impeccable skill of zoning out. However, her imagination is momentarily interrupted by the glimpse of a familiar pink-haired girl. Hey, that's Natsuki! Natsuki! Oh no. There she is. I never ran into the other club members around the school. There she goes. Natsuki! Sayori is standing on her tiptoes and waves. Natsuki, who's busy walking and chatting with her friends, doesn't notice Sayori at first. Then she glances over in Sayori's direction. Sayori waves enthusiastically. Following her friends, Natsuki quickly ducks around the corner. Hey! Aw, she definitely saw me. Aw, poor Sayori, dude. Maybe she thinks that, like, I don't know, her friends are gonna make fun of her, because, like, Sayori, her friends, because, like, Sayori is kind of, like, cutesy and stuff, too. They're like, oh my god, Natsuki, you're so adorable with your adorable little new friend. I guess, like, she could think that, too, but I can understand her just feeling, like, smothered as well, and, like, that being the reason why she wants to hide, but it's a lot better to just, like, talk to her than to, you know, hide from her. Monica is the first to arrive to the club meeting than Natsuki. Sayori, having glanced through the window to see Natsuki already inside, is unable to work up enough courage to enter. Natsuki's being so distant with me. I was stupid to think she ever wanted to be friends. She only got excited because she got to share her manga, but aside from that, she doesn't even like me. I should just go home today.
Sorry, but do you plan on going inside?
No.
Why?
I'm sulking. A little puffy face.
Oh. Well, I'm sorry for bothering you. Excuse me.
No, don't leave me. You're supposed to ask why I'm sulking.
Oh, I'll stay here then. Here he's so awkward.
I don't want to go in. I'm afraid of bothering Natsuki. I saw her at lunch today, so I waved and called out to her, but instead of saying hi, she just ran away from me.
Really? I mean, she could have at least just said hi back and then been like, I'm busy, you know? It is pretty, I don't know, it's kind of rude. Not bad.
Hey!
I'm sorry, that was just a joke. It just sounded like something stupid that I would do from anxiety.
From anxiety?
Well, I just don't like attention being drawn to myself.
Oh, well that makes sense based on the person you are. But Natsuki isn't shy like that at all. I thought we were friends, but it feels like every day she's just trying to distance herself more instead of get closer. It makes me feel like she was only spending time with me during the club because I was reading manga, but she doesn't actually want to be friends with me.
I feel like, as well, like, Sayori probably feels like Natsuki, like, keep getting more and more distant, and that, like, makes her want to, like, keep smothering her more, which makes Natsuki want to grow, like, even more distant, you know? So it's just kind of like a bad cycle. Well, I feel like I'm missing a lot of context here. Was she in the middle of anything when you approached her?
No, she was just walking with her friends.
With her friends. Yuri pauses for a moment. How do I put this? Sayori, you're very fond of your friends, right? You always want to be spending time with them.
Of course. I don't think there's anything more important to me. The best parts of my day are always with my friends. Besides that, I really hate being alone, so...
You hate being alone? Sayori nods. We're very different people. I cherish my time alone. I wouldn't trade it for anything. So I think, well, if I was trying to have alone time and it was being threatened with an interruption, then it just would not make me very happy.
Yeah, but that doesn't have to do with Natsuki. She was already with her friends, but not trying to be alone or anything.
I think it's similar. Well, we're all friends in the club, but we have our own lives outside of the club as well. If you think about it, making new friends isn't some casual occurrence that happens on a daily basis. A friendship is an invitation to intertwine your lives together. But the capacity to which each person is ready to do that might be different.
Ah, dang, Yuri, you got the situation perfectly.
There are friends who just like to have fun together and others who talk every day and share every detail of their lives with each other. I think when establishing a friendship, it's important to consider the comfort level of the other person. We don't really know much about Natsuki's life outside of the club. It could be that she simply needs to make friends at her own pace rather than jump headfirst into a new commitment.
But that means I really was bothering her. I just really want to be good friends with her, so I treated her like one. Was I actually hurting her?
I don't know, I'm sorry. My insight was really only based on what I understand about my own needs. And Natsuki and I are completely different, so...
Why was I so selfish? Even if all that is true, then it still means I hurt her. I think I messed up. Yuri, with you, I think I was really careful to understand your needs when I was becoming friends with you. But I wasn't careful at all with Natsuki because she already seemed really social. I just took control of everything instead of looking for the right balance.
Oh, balance, the name of it.
Get it? That's the name of the story. Now I hurt her and she doesn't want to talk to me. How could I let myself do this?
Sayori, I think that, well, there was one time you told me something about the way I saw things in my head being different from reality. It's easy to automatically jump to the worst case scenario, but I think it's more likely that Natsuki doesn't harbor any ill feelings towards you. So I think if we were to realistically consider the situation and how it would cause someone to feel, I'm bad at this, I'm sorry. You're a lot better than me at things like comforting and reassuring people. Suddenly, Sayori gives Yuri a gentle hug.
You're the best, Yuri. I'm sorry for burdening you with this. You're trying so hard for me. You're such a sweetheart.
It's not a burden. I enjoy listening to others, and my friends deserve happiness. Sayori beams.
Well, I think I'm gonna give Natsuki some space. She should do what she wants. And if she does still want to be friends, then I'll learn her needs. I'll match her boundaries. Yeah, I'm sure that's what's best. I wish I didn't feel so awful and guilty. Aw, poor Sayori, dude. She's way too hard on herself. It makes me feel desperate, like I need to make it up to her by trying to make her happy. That's not what she needs. I just have to tell myself that. It hurts, but I guess it means I still need to grow. I really want to grow as a person. If it's to be better for my friends, I want that.
That's very mature of you, Sayori.
I'm mature!
And it's gone now. Sayori hops up and down on her toes. Does that mean you'll be going home after all? Sayori shakes her head.
I need to be here to show her that I respect her space. I'll just spin the club by myself today.
Sayori nods in understanding.
You can go in first.
Okay. You're blocking the door.
Oh,
Sayori steps aside.
by the way,
Before Yuri enters the club room, Sayori interjects.
you said that you and Natsuki are completely different, but I don't really think that's true. I think you're actually really similar in a lot of ways.
Yuri smiles and shakes her head. Sayori, that's absurd. You're very silly sometimes. I kind of thought the same thing though, because she seemed to understand the situation like so well, so quickly. Yuri turns and enters the club room. After a moment, Sayori follows. They're both like insecure about different things and stuff too, like Natsuki and Yuri. So I feel like I could see them having a lot in common. They just like have to get through some of like the surface level stuff to really like get each other. The club room is quiet. When Sayori walks in, Natsuki glances in her direction. Sayori smiles and gives Natsuki a quick wave before sitting down across the room. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. Sayori decides it's best to continue the manga she was reading, so she pulls it out. However, it looks like Natsuki isn't reading today. She has a sheet of paper in front of her and is tapping a pen against her desk, staring at it. Ooh, are we writing today? Monica speaks in a quiet voice, unwilling to disturb the peace of the club room. She kneels down at Natsuki's desk. Hey! Natsuki pulls the sheet closer to her and covers it with her arms. Sorry, I didn't mean to peek. Whatever. I just wanted to see how everyone was doing. It's fine. Natsuki replies dismissively. She glances over at Sayori, who is focused on her manga. Monica follows Natsuki's gaze. I think she's mad at me. How come? I'm busy right now. Ask me later. Monica falls silent. Natsuki looks back down at her paper. She inches her hand away from the top margin, allowing Monica to see. It says, to Sayori. Understanding, Monica smiles. She places a hand on Natsuki's shoulder and whispers softly, I'm proud of you. Natsuki looks away but makes no motion to remove Monica's hand. Monica gives Natsuki's shoulder a quick squeeze before standing back up and pulling away. The end of the club meeting passes. Yuri has already departed. So has Monica after checking on Sayori and Natsuki to ensure they wouldn't stay too late. Sayori was determined to finish her manga volume before heading out since the end was approaching. However, with Natsuki also staying late for an unknown reason, a silent tension hangs in the air. After finishing the volume, Sayori brings it to the closet to put it away. She slides it back onto the shelf while Natsuki watches. Then Natsuki gets up and pulls it back out in order to return it to its proper location. Sorry, I didn't know where it was supposed to go. It's fine. The two fall silent again, avoiding eye contact. Awkward. They both look like they're about to say something, but neither can break the silence. A moment passes. Well, I'll be on my way. See you tomorrow. Sayori turns away to hide her pained expression, then walks away from the closet. If there was any proof Natsuki no longer wanted to be friends, this was it.
Defeated, Sayori carries herself out of the club room. Aww. Once in the hallway, Sayori takes a deep breath and hits her palms against her cheeks to clear her head a little. Suddenly, Natsuki's stammering voice calls from behind. Natsuki! Startled, Sayori turns back around to face Natsuki. Oh hey, we get a cutscene now. Yay, cute. Natsuki fidgets and anxiously continues with a shaking voice. Oh, what's that in the background? Is there anything important back here? Probably not. It's like is it a little kitty? Looks like a crying little cat. Oh, he's so cute. And then like a wing of some sort. I have a lot of things to say. Me too. But you go first. Natsuki bites her lip and can't stay still. I like how they like change the expressions a lot during these two. I noticed it a lot when I was playing through the last ones. Well, first of all, she cuts herself short, struggling to continue. Trying to force the words out, she stamps her foot and hops up and down a little. I'm sorry for the thing I did at lunch, and I'm sorry for just being kind of mean lately. It's really hard for me to I'm not good with things that make me uncomfortable, especially when it comes to like feelings and stuff. So, a little blush. Face burning, Natsuki clams up again. Instead of continuing, she simply holds out a sheet of paper for Sayori to take. Ah, the best place in the world. I love my bedroom. It's full of bright colors and soft things. The sunlight shines in and makes everything sparkle. It's the best place in the world. It has all my treasures, all my books, my collections, my memories. All of my dreams were born in this room. It's the best place in the world. It has all my secrets, all my failures, my fears, my feelings. Sometimes it feels so fragile that the door will break at the slightest touch, but it's still the best place in the world. When someone knocks, I get scared. I brace my arms against the loose hinges. Please don't break. Please don't come in. I'm not ready. It's my best place in the world. The knocking won't stop. I block the door with furniture. An eye peeks through the keyhole and I panic. I'm trapped in the best place in the world. I'm not ready to share my favorite place. I need to clean my secrets and make my bed to hide my nightmares. I need to touch them to put them away, to see them again. I have so much to do and I'm scared I'm not ready, but it's still my favorite place. I still want to share it. However long it takes, if you wait patiently, I'll eventually open the door and I'll show you the best place in the world. Oh, that's so sweet. Yeah, she just has a hard time letting people in. Oh, that's perfect. Sayori's gonna love that. It's a poem. The way that she did it in a poem too, that's cute. But I thought, well, I sucked it up so that I could work things out with you. So just be happy about it, please. I was like, Sayori just doesn't know how to deal with tsunderes. I think that's what it all comes down to in this short story. Sayori smiles deeply from the bottom of her heart. I am happier than I can express. I feel so awful, but I'm so happy that you would do this for me. I actually realized before the club meeting today that I made a mistake. I got so caught up in the chance to get closer to you that I forgot to think about what you wanted. And that we probably have different ways we like to make friends. About like the friendship stuff. I mean, it's okay. I understand you don't have to force yourself to talk about it. Your poem did a good job. So don't force yourself if you're not ready yet, okay? Natsuki nods. You don't have to feel like you did anything wrong. It was my fault, and I'm sorry. I wasn't mad at you today or anything like that. I actually felt really guilty and wanted to give you some space. I was thinking it's silly that I just approach you all the time, and that I should just let you approach me whenever you want to. Just whatever makes you comfortable. I'll respect that from now on. Friendships should always start with those feelings. With the right balance. And we said the name again. Natsuki nods again. One thing about that. Huh? Well, I don't want to have to approach you all the time either. I just want it to be balanced, like you said. Sayori nods. I understand. We'll make sure of that together then. Aw, cute. These are so adorable so far. Well, anyways, now that the two of them have found common ground, Natsuki finds it easier to speak more freely again. I'm not going to be like sharing my poems all the time now or anything like that, but I guess it wouldn't hurt to do it once in a while. Only the best ones, so you better like them because otherwise I might change my mind. Please shower me with compliments. I like anything you do, Natsuki. I was just saying. More importantly, I have to tell I have to tell you about my new boyfriend. What? Oh, from the manga? Oh, okay. My new husbando. Wait, I need to guess who it is. You definitely won't be able to guess. The two walk down the hallway together. Oh my god, we have so much to talk about. Darn, I should have told you to save the last 2 chapters so I could see your reaction to the big reveal. Aw, you wanted to enjoy it with me? Aw, that's so cute. Okay, oh shush. No calling me cute. I'm not cute. I'm vicious. Oh, we got some Natsuki. We got a Natsuki wallpaper. Finish the side story. Balance 2. No more mail though. That's so sad. And this looks like a new one, I think. A poem from Natsuki, distributed at special events in the past. Acquire all of Natsuki's other poems. I named my pin the expression Express. My feelings aboard with a ticket to you. No room for stammers, no lies, no extra stops, no compromise. Station screaming by, attendants saying hi. One ticket to you, please and thank you. Take a headphone and doze. No bumps in the rails, just thumps in my heart. And loops in my letters, and clouds in the sky. And dreams in your eyes. Hey, wake up, the train has arrived. Expression Express, destination you. Choo choo. Oh, that's cute. I guess it's kind of like expressing her love for somebody. That seems to be kind of what it is. Just trying to use like the express or like the train to illustrate that. Okay, reflection. Monica and Yuri. Am I bothering you? Huh? No. Okay, just checking. It's hard to tell since you always look so into it when you're reading. It makes me scared to interrupt. Well, it's within my expectations to be interrupted when I read here. It's mainly when I'm by myself that I don't like it. Huh, that makes sense. I guess if you're here in the first place, then you're more ready to socialize, even if it takes a bit of prodding. It's not so bad to be social if I let others do the work, so it can be healthy to put myself in a social environment every now and then. It's mostly difficult when I don't know anyone, or there are too many people, or everyone is being too silly for me to keep up with. Yuri glances across the room at Sayori and Natsuki. Like them. Sayori has her head cocked back and her mouth open, trying to catch pieces of a cookie that Natsuki is lobbing into the air. But the pieces keep bouncing off of her face and hitting the floor. Maybe I should say something. No need, they just ran out of cookies. What a waste. They've become really good friends, haven't they? I'm happy. Sayori seems particularly good at making that happen. But the two of them are both on the energetic side, so I suppose it works out well. Yeah, come to think of it, you and I haven't had many chances to talk one-on-one, have we? Though that may be partially my fault, since I'm supposed to be the one engaging club members. Not at all. I've probably formed a habit of drawing minimal attention to myself. The responsibility is equally on me. At least it displays some openness to engage. Well, what about during times like lunch? Do you meet up with friends? I just read. Oh. But I like it that way. It feels nice to be carried off again after a morning of classes. Does she have like any other friends besides us? Do you always read fantasy? Oh, not always. I suppose it's all I've read recently, but only because I'm in the middle of this series. There are still some more books after this one. I guess those long boots suit you well since you spend so much time reading. Well, fantasy may be my favorite, but after that, I'm more or less indiscriminate to genres. I'll read anything with depth and maturity. Oh yeah. Even like romance? Oh well, you read trashy romance novels, don't you, Yuri? There are a lot of books that have elements of romance in them. Oh come on, Yuri, you know what I mean. The ones with like shirtless Fabio on the cover, come on now. Monica lowers her voice. It's a guilty pleasure of mine, so I won't tell anybody if you do too. Maybe more when I was in middle school. I mean, I was really lonely and people were mean to me a lot. So it kind of felt like, oh, please don't make me think about the past. Sorry, I just got super curious. You know, we should totally pick out a romance novel to read. That would be so much fun. Absolutely not. Really? Even if it was just between us? Try asking someone who has no shame, like Natsuki. Jeez, oh lord. I don't know why she's like so hell-bent on people like taking her so seriously. Ouch. Sorry, I swear I didn't mean that. Well, I guess it was my fault for pressing you. I'm like that for things in my past too, you know? Things I feel too embarrassed to re-experience. There's nothing wrong with growing out of things, it happens to everyone. For instance, Natsuki's interest in manga remind me quite a bit of how intense I used to be about my own interest. Like you're not intense now. It makes me think that she'll likely grow out of it too. Hey, were you talking shit about me? No, we were just talking about how our interests have changed over the years. When did you get into manga, Natsuki? Like a couple years ago, I guess. I wonder if Yuri like used to like manga, but then she got like made fun of too much for liking it, so she like switched to novels. I could see that being the case, especially since she's like so judgmental of like Natsuki. So maybe she's like projecting her own like insecurities onto Natsuki in that way. I was already sort of into it before that, but I wasn't really going hard until then. Oh yeah, what was it that inspired you to get more into it? I don't know. I guess, let me think. Cute anime boys. It was after I discovered the series that I really liked. Yeah, I was just like really fed up with a lot of things, and I got super into one series that I really related to. I guess I had an edgy phase where I just hated everyone around me and wanted to be by myself. Yeah, hey, oh no! Hey, kind of like Yuri. Monica! Sorry. That's completely wrong, so it's still cool that you both really found your thing. It's kind of mean. They're almost like opposites, but it sounds like they helped you a lot through hard times. You know it. What the heck? Is that book even bigger than the last one you were reading?
It's technically slightly longer, but not by very much.
How high do you think it would go if you stacked up the whole series?
Natsuki estimates by holding her hand high enough above her head, sizing up an imaginary stack.
I should get one of those mangas that's like 50 volumes so that I can say I've read more than you. Haha. Not that I have the money for that.
Please, that would hardly count when your books only have a few words per page. I knew she was gonna go down that path.
I know, I was just joking. I can never actually read books like yours. It's too boring for me. Oh god. Catfight.
Yuri shoots a glance at Natsuki. It's not boring.
Chill, I said for me, not for you. I can have my own opinion. I just think it's too convoluted.
Sayori, are those from the floor?
Then Sayori doesn't come in for a week because she caught a cold. Gross. Also, wash your hands before touching any of my books. But my hands aren't dirty. I just ate cookies off the floor, okay? Just do it. The oils are there, even if you can't see them. Fine.
Sayori trots out the door and Natsuki follows. Yuri, you look a little upset. What kind of nerve does she have to call my hobby boring? Well, she did correct herself. Hardly, she was so condescending. I don't mind if she thinks it's not for her. I already understand that it's not for everyone. But she knows well how much these mean to me, so how about just leaving me alone instead of needlessly telling me the things you hate about it? I'm sorry, Yuri. You may be right. This wouldn't be the last time people have strong feelings about what they like and don't like, especially in a literature club, so I should figure out how to mediate discussions to keep them positive and constructive. For the record, I've always been impressed by the level of creativity in your books, and also your ability to get through them so quickly. Thank you. Okay, well this is something that I'll have to think about and revisit. I'm sure I can help Natsuki find some common ground with you. Common ground isn't necessary, I just wish to be respected. That then, either way I'll do my best. I'm skeptical when it comes to Natsuki. I trust you, Monica, but I'm skeptical. I'm kind of surprised she wasn't more mad at Monica for her comment. Oh man. Okay, everyone. It's kind of funny that even though it's the Monica and Yuri one, oh, it's a new song. But it's kind of interesting that even though this is like the Monica Yuri one, it seems like it's more Yuri and Natsuki butting heads. Okay, everyone. We have a special club meeting today. As you know, the Literature Club is a place where we get to share things that we're all really passionate about. But that also means we should be mindful of how we respond to each other's feelings. I think we have a chance to turn our differences into positive energy for each other. Aren't you being a little dramatic about this? This is important to me. Well, sorry, I just feel like I'm being accused or something. No, I'm not accusing anyone of anything. I'm sorry if it came off that way. But our conversation yesterday made me reflect on the power of language, and I thought it would be a good topic for the Literature Club, don't you think? I'm sure we're gonna have differences in opinion a lot, so I need to make sure we're prepared to keep a positive atmosphere in the club. If you say so. Sure. The cool thing about language is that it gives us a lot of different ways to express the same idea or emotion. I kind of feel like this is gonna self-implode. I don't know. I feel like it's so awkward to have like a meeting when it's like just an issue between two people. I guess it's like you can apply it to everybody, but it's like Natsuki obviously knows it's about like what happened yesterday, you know? I feel like they're just gonna fight a lot. We have a lot of control over how we want the other person to feel when receiving our thought. This goes for poetry, narratives, casual conversation, basically anything. For example, Sayori, what's your favorite food? I
have them organized by category. Should I start with snacks or do you mean full meals? Should I include breakfast?
Oh geez, wrong person. Totally the wrong person to ask. Okay, how about your favorite fruit?
That's easy, cherries.
Really? I always thought cherries tasted nasty.
What? Cherries are delicious.
Whoa, that's a pretty strong reaction.
Well, I just don't understand how somebody could think cherries are nasty.
How does it make you feel?
I don't know, sad?
Defensive maybe?
Yeah, I got defensive.
See, the reason you had such a strong reaction wasn't because I don't like cherries. It's because you felt like it felt like your opinion was under attack. But that's weird, right? Something like taste is completely subjective. But when I say something like, I think cherries taste nasty, I'm using objective language. I'm challenging Sayori's reality that cherries are delicious with my own, which is that cherries are nasty.
Wait, hold on. How is it objective when you just said it was only your own opinion?
It has to do with the way our brains interpret the words. You're talking about the reality of the cherries, not your feelings about them. Like Sayori. Let's rewind for a second and pretend I didn't tell you that I think cherries are nasty.
Good! You better take that back!
So what if instead of that I said like, I've tried cherries and they're not for me. It's not the kind of flavor I enjoy.
Well, that's fine. As long as you don't call them nasty. Nasty is a nasty word.
Okay, so cherries was kind of a weird example, but I think it gets the point across. This time around, instead of talking about cherries, I just talked about my feelings and Sayori didn't get defensive. So instead of clashing with each other, it's like we received an invitation to talk about our differences. You know, that's honestly something I try to like always keep in mind for my videos when like I'm making, especially like analysis content, like or just any kind of opinion content, because it bothers me too when people are like, this is the worst show or game ever created and you're dumb for liking it, but that's just my opinion. Like, don't be offended. It's like, you're not saying it in like, you know, a subjective manner. I like what Monica's saying here, because I always get like annoyed when people make videos like that, because I don't really care if people don't like the same things as me or like the same things as me or like whatever. But it does bother me when people like present their ideas in that way. So I always try like really hard to kind of word my opinions in a way that I don't think will like offend other people. You know what I mean? Because it's just not what I want. I don't know, not what I want to do in my videos or like on my channel. Yuri, you don't need to take notes. I'm not gonna quiz you or anything. I know that. I was just, sorry, I didn't mean to call you out. You can do whatever you'd like. But does anybody have any thoughts so far?
Yeah, I just feel like I shouldn't have to put all my language through a filter just to protect somebody's feelings.
Well, you don't have to. The choice is yours on how you want to come across to other people. I'm only suggesting it as a tool to help turn your differences into a positive experience rather than an argument. Right, Sayori?
Whatever you say, cherry hater.
Okay, she took a lot of offense to that. But yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it too, because it's like, I feel like if you word your opinion in a way that's like not so like offensive, it can actually get people to like, I don't know, maybe like consider your ideas more rather than like feeling like, oh, you're being combative. Because like, I feel like when you make videos and you're like, I don't know, this show sucks or whatever, somebody who's really passionate about this show is not gonna listen if you word it like, this show sucks. But if you word it like, I dislike this show, then it's like, I feel like people are more willing to like listen to a side when you kind of use more like subjective language, like Monica's saying. Come on. Sayori, I actually like cherries. I was just saying that to help demonstrate.
What the heck? I've been duped.
I'm sorry, Sayori. I'll make it up to you later. How about a cherry sundae?
You are welcome to dupe me anytime, my beloved president.
Buying your people's loyalty. How deplorable.
Oh, like you would turn down a free sundae, Yuri. You were certainly a fan of those cupcakes I brought the other week.
I was reading and not keeping track of them. Oh, that's enough. We're getting off topic. So now that we have the gist of it, how about we try it with something more relevant to the club? Like manga, right? Oh no, this is gonna set off a bomb. Let's try to have a productive discussion about our differences in opinion. Oh no, she's totally not gonna do it right. Yuri, do you want to start? Manga fucking sucks. Well, I'd rather not know. How come? Well, because I don't see how anything productive can come from that. It's just going to start a fight. No, it'll be fine. That's why I'm here to moderate. Let's just have a calm and rational discussion. Yeah, give me a little more credit. I'm not a child. You don't have to coddle my feelings. I always think it's more respectable just to speak your mind. Respectable? Oh no. Yuri's expression changes at that word. As Monica recalls, being respected was the crux of the matter for Yuri. Well, the point of the exercise isn't exactly like, it's fine. I have nothing against anybody personally. You're entitled to enjoy whatever it is you like. I just prefer more depth and nuance in my reading material. I look for stories that are imaginative and sophisticated beyond the surface level.
Oh, that's just a misunderstanding then. I thought you were gonna say that manga is for children or something. Like, I don't hear that enough of that. But there's plenty of deep manga.
I'm not clueless about manga. I've read my own fair share when I was younger.
Oh, so you were a manga person. What, are you serious? How come you never told me?
Because I'm past that point in my life, and I prefer not to revisit it. I bet she was made fun of for liking manga before or something. I prefer more mature things now.
Excuse me? Okay, hold on. Can I jump in here? Let's try to keep things subjective. Because if you imply that manga is immature, then aren't you implying that someone is immature for being into it? Awkward. Well, maybe it's immature to judge people for having different tastes than you. Natsuki. Nobody's immature. I've read Natsuki's manga and Yuri's fantasy, and I love both of them in their own way. Okay. It's great that you like it, but I still find it boring. Boring isn't subjective. Okay, it bores me. That's subjective. But, I mean, think about it.
This is ridiculous. Do you see why I didn't want to participate in this? I knew it was just going to make people upset.
I'm not upset. Like I said, I don't care what other people think. But I always got the impression that you secretly looked down on me, so I'm glad my suspicions were confirmed.
That's not true at all. You're making assumptions. But I do think it's immature and stupid that you like manga. You can't blame me for getting defensive when nobody ever has the least bit of respect for the thing that I'm into. The only thing I look down upon is when people make fun of me for just being myself and trying to mind my own business.
What, have you looked in a mirror? Tell me again about respect after calling all of my interests immature.
You can't.
Please stop. Oh, please? You're making Sayori cry. Come on, guys. You don't mean the things you're saying right now. Let's just be friends.
I didn't mean for this to happen. Well, it did. So please don't invite yourself to try and solve other people's problems next time, okay? Yuri's piercing words send the club room into a choked silence. As she gathers her things, she leaves.
Yeah, I kind of had a feeling that was going to blow up in everybody's face. Holy crap. I've never heard her sound like that before. She must be so pissed. Well, you weren't very nice either, so I was just saying. How did this happen?
It's my fault. Yuri wasn't wrong. I shouldn't have tried to moderate a conflict when I know how bad I am at dealing with conflicts. It was a really stupid thing for me to do.
It's nobody's fault. It wasn't stupid. Everyone in the club is a nice person. Nobody would have expected this. But I guess they're sensitive about the things we really love. Honestly, she kind of brought it upon herself. Like I said, I don't care if you're not into manga, but if you actually look down on other people for it, that's kind of the point I was trying to make in the first place. It's not about sugarcoating things. It's about just recognizing and understanding our differences. Okay, but here's the thing about that. Yuri actually looks down on me, and it has nothing to do with her word choice or anything like that. So I see what you were trying to do, but I really think the problem here is her, not just like the way we talk to each other, right? I think I'm trying to think if there is like a difference between the way they both kind of like think about each other. Because like Natsuki just said she thought it was boring. She didn't say that she thought like Yuri was trying to be like an elitist for reading it though, you know what I mean? I guess she did think that Yuri was like already looking down at her, but so I guess she did kind of make that assumption about Yuri's personality based off of what she read. Similar to how like Yuri thought that Natsuki must be immature for liking manga, so I guess it is kind of similar. But yeah, I guess both the comments are pretty similar just for like different reasons. I mean, Yuri isn't like that. She's a lot sweeter than you're giving her credit for. I'm sure she'll be reflecting on this. I actually think everybody should. It'll be fine. I'll figure something out. Poor Monica, dude. She just always takes it into her hands to like fix everything. I guess she is the president. Well, I'm just like seeing that instinctively. I'm just setting myself up to cause more problems. That wasn't your fault, Monica. You don't have to beat yourself up over it. If you ask me, it's good that the truth finally came out because I can just move on now. But it's fine, I promise. Let's just get our mind off this, okay? In fact, it's a good opportunity to read some manga without having to worry about feeling Yuri's superiority complex. Yeah, she definitely assumes that about Yuri based off of what she reads. Don't be mean. I'll talk or read manga or whatever you want, but don't be mean to my friends, okay? Sorry. I'm just bitter. Everything will be okay. I mean, I don't have the answers, but
I at least know that we're all good people and don't want to hurt each other. This will be a learning experience. Monica says that, but her uneasiness is given away by how much she has to force the reassuring tone in her voice. This was bound to happen eventually. Natsuki and Yuri have always engaged with each other the least out of anybody, and this is the reason. As Sayori and Natsuki proceed to distract themselves with manga, Monica sighs to herself, unable to shake her worried thoughts. Will the club really have to just come to terms with the fact that some members will be incompatible with each other? Monica desperately doesn't want to admit that. She knows Sayori doesn't either. But for once, a solution doesn't seem to be in sight. My bad. Yay, mail! Yes! I was waiting. Okay, from Paula. As a reminder to help... oh yeah, these are all from like 2019. So I don't know if that's important or not, like the date of these being sent. As a reminder to help guide our data collection, any analysis performed should be focused on answering some of these main questions. How does granting elevated access to the VM affect a person's emotional state? How does granting elevated access to the VM affect a person's values and goals? How does someone effectively navigate and experiment with their ability to change the contents of their VM? How is elevated access being weaponized? What actions and values most contribute to the destruction of the universe? Most importantly, how might you... Oh, I guess it's like the universe of the VM, I think. Most importantly, how might your observations apply to our own universe? I guess it's like a separate universe is kind of what they were saying, I think, in one of the other emails too. Bonus, how can we present this to upper management as an operation that benefits the company? Unrelated note, whoever changed the color scheme of the desktop to pink, can you please change it back? It's unprofessional and it runs the risk of drawing eyes. Why'd you make this shit so cutesy? So yeah, the VM seems to just be kind of like the universe in which like Doki Doki, it's a little confusing because yeah, the controlled simulation is the side stories and then like the Doki Doki game itself was VM1 according to one of the other emails. And so now it's like they're talking about just the VM in general. I mean, I guess they might just be referring to like any of the VM simulations because yeah, they call it VM1 when Monica like killed Sayori and did all that other stuff. So I'm guessing it's referring to like the player's emotional state, or is it referring to like the Monica and their like emotional states? Well, maybe they are referring to Monica because it mentions navigating and experimenting with their ability to change the contents of their VM. So I guess so. So the theory was that like Monica and all of them are from like a different universe than Doki Doki. So I'm guessing they're actually talking about how being in this universe, the Doki Doki universe, is affecting their emotional state and their values and goals, and how like Monica would be able to effectively navigate and experiment with that VM. I think that makes the most sense. So the VM is just like the Doki Doki universe. And then there's like the Project Libitina, I'm guessing, VM universe. And they're talking about how like they took her out of that one and put her in here. Same with the other characters. And they're talking about how it affects them. I'm assuming, at least. More importantly, how might your observations apply in our own universe? Can we start control deleting? Can we start just like deleting people in our universe? What the heck? I mean, they're making it sound like, yeah, I mean, these people are like real and they're just in a different universe, not like in a video game. That's what it seems like. Okay. I kind of wonder if I change the background, if anything will happen. I'm guessing I can't, right? Well, I don't know if I can here. Data collected, 77%. I know I can change the picture. So wallpaper, does that do anything? Well, it doesn't change this. Yeah, I don't think you can actually change the color scheme. Okay, I don't think it really matters then. I'll change my backdrop again. Let's make it Sayori. This one's cute. Yay. I like this one. It has the S from middle school. Okay, let's go back to the side stories. Reflection, part 2. A new day arrives. Sayori arrives at the clubroom earlier than usual, that is, not late. As she enters, it appears to be empty still, so she sits down at a desk and pulls out a sheet of paper, primed to jot down her thoughts. Sayori has made a habit of scribbling her thoughts and feelings onto paper whenever possible, as it tends to serve as her best inspiration for poetry. My heart feels vacant because a ship has sailed away. Yo. Ah! Natsuki! Natsuki pokes her head out from behind the closet door. Sorry, didn't mean to scare you, but it would have been a lot more awkward if I didn't say anything. I doubt you won't be listening on your poetry thing. Yeah, thanks for realizing that. Should I let you finish that up then? No, oh no, it wasn't. I mean, I just do it whenever it's convenient. You're not interrupting. Where is Monica, by the way? Oh, she's out in the hallway. Huh? Why? Well, just in case she runs into Yuri. Sometimes Yuri is too nervous to come into the club room by herself, so... Oh,
Jeez, does Yuri really let things bother her for that long? I feel like now she's gonna be hiding in the corner like, Monica's waiting for me.
She can't control her feelings. For some people, it's really hard to cope when you get a bad thought in your head. Maybe you can distract yourself for a little while. But as soon as it's just you and your thoughts again, it comes back.
Talking about herself a bit. Huh? I just want to have a normal club meeting. It's a lot easier to pretend like it never happened if we just ignore it and move on. Let's just bury our feelings. I don't want to be bothered by this. It's so stupid. Her opinion of me doesn't matter anyways. Besides, it just makes me feel really guilty and I hate that too.
It's okay to have feelings. It doesn't make you weak. Let's figure this out together.
Fine. Only because you're good at this stuff.
Let's try to come up with a happy scene. Maybe that will help us understand where your bad feelings are coming from.
Well, I was happy with the way things were before we had to have that conversation yesterday.
What part of the conversation made you upset? Was it Yuri being mean about the manga?
Maybe. I doubt it though. Because my friends and other people make fun of manga all the time, but I just brush it off and ignore them. But something about it really got to me this time, and I hate that I'm letting that happen. It might be because, I guess, Yuri, like, I don't know, she does kind of seem like condescending sometimes.
Is it because it came from Yuri?
No, why would that matter? I mean, well, maybe. I just hate that she thinks she's so much better than me, just because she likes to pretend to be all sophisticated. Yeah, that's what it is. At least other people decide that they don't like me or manga or whatever. But Yuri acts like she's too good to even give it a chance.
I'm sorry. Everyone deserves a chance.
Yeah, exactly. Would you give Yuri's book a chance? After this, obviously not.
What about before this?
Well, I wait until I got bored, which wouldn't take very long. But if you actually keep an open mind, then it's not hard to realize that a story can be deep and meaningful without being needlessly complicated.
I see. But you know, I like Yuri's books.
Yeah, but you like manga more, right? Sayori shakes her head.
I like them both. I like them in different ways, but I like them both. I mean, the manga, it's really honest and fun and easy to just let go with. And the fantasy has a lot to interpret and uncover. It's really rewarding to have some good quiet time together with it. But the most important thing is that both of the manga and the fantasy are true to themselves. So I love them both. Oops. And I think there is room for both of them to be in the same club together. And I just feel like maybe they have more in common than you would think.
Ugh. How do you get along with everyone so well? I always get into fights with people. Like first it was with Monica when I was new to the club, and then it was with you, and now it's with Yuri. I'm always like, oh, that person is being such a jerk, and if they just realized that, they could at least get along. But nobody else has this problem. I just keep running away from the reality that everyone's just a jerk to me because nobody likes me. And I just don't know why, and I don't know what to do about it. I don't know what's wrong with me. I hate it.
Natsuki.
Sayori puts a comforting hand on Natsuki's shoulder.
You're a wonderful person. You deserve to be loved just as much as everyone else. Everyone has different ways they like to communicate, you know? And sometimes that makes it harder for us to understand each other. I think that sometimes we get lucky and we make friends who are really good at the same kinds of communication, and it feels like you magically connect with them. But other times, even if both people are really nice, it's easy for them to misunderstand each other or to get the communication wrong. It's something that Yuri struggles a lot with too. It can really be hard. It takes a lot of reflection and self-awareness. Reflection! I said the title again! And vulnerability.
I'm bad at that one. Yeah, I feel like her and Yuri are bad at communication in their own different ways, you know? That's why they butt heads so much. I always have to be the strongest.
What do you mean? Tell me about that part of you.
Well, it sounds stupid, but I'm really used to people being mean to me. Like my friends, and I guess my dad. Like when I don't get good grades, or even stupid things like if my room isn't clean. So what am I gonna do, cry about it? Even if I let myself get upset, then it's just letting them win. I'm better than that. I can understand that, especially with her dad, you know? Wanting to always appear to be strong and stuff. I'm better than all of them. So things always have to be everyone else's fault. It feels like if something goes wrong and there's even a tiny hint that it might be my fault, then I just get really angry and I find ways to blame everything else instead.
Do you see yourself as better than Yuri?
If I said that, then I would just sound really full of myself.
No, our thoughts and our feelings are two different things. Even if we don't like our feelings, we have to understand them if we want to learn more about themselves.
That's a part of vulnerability, you know? Accepting that we have feelings that we don't like. I hate that. My feelings make me a bad person because my feelings just want to tell me that I'm so much better than her, that she's a judgmental know-it-all who's stuck in her edgy phase and I'm just way above that garbage. And I'm terrible for feeling that way. You're not terrible. You're not your feelings. But you're not your feelings. Say that to yourself out loud. Aw, Sayori, you're like a little therapist. Aw. Fine. I am not my feelings. The way I like to picture it is that those feelings are like your roommate. You live in the same house and you gotta see each other every day. And even if you can ignore each other for most of the time, you're gonna run into each other. You're gonna run into each other every now and then, and it's gonna make you feel like poop. So the other option is to get to know each other. You can communicate and learn from each other, and maybe even help each other for the better. Does that help you understand?
Oh, that's so nice. That's actually a good way to look at it, I think.
How do you know so much about this stuff? I just have a roommate that can be really hard to get along with, called depression. Depression? But you're like the happiest person I know. I am not my feelings. Oh.
It's nice to see her opening up, though.
I want to be a good person like you. You little sweetheart. We're all good people. You and Yuri and Monica. And I think Yuri will eventually learn that about you.
Natsuki remained silent, feeling a little overwhelmed.
I think in the next side story.
Despite Sayori's kind reassurance, a complicated mixture of pain and sadness seems to fill her, as though flowing from a wound inside her. Was it a result of her vulnerability? No, it wasn't as though she was inflicted a wound after becoming vulnerable. It was as though she began to rediscover an old wound, one that cannot simply be bandaged and left alone any longer. We're gonna see Monica and Yuri now. Oh hey, we're here. I don't think we've actually been here. Besides just that intro shot. Yuri, what are you doing all the way over here? I was looking for you. Please don't yell at me. I'm not gonna yell at you. I just wanted to say that I'm sorry about what happened yesterday. It was unfair for me to put everyone on the spot like that. Next time, I won't just try to jump in and solve everyone's problems. I guess it's a bad habit of mine. Yeah, I think it's just bad to put people on the spot like that, you know? You're not mad at me? I thought you're the one mad at me. I was so awful yesterday. Yuri curls up, recalling the details of the argument. I can't even have a normal conversation without saying something wrong and making everyone upset. Hold on, that's not what happened at all. Let's talk about this, okay? Yuri pauses for a second, then manages a nod. Monica takes a seat next to her on the staircase. I'm having a lot of negative thought patterns and I can't get away from them. What kind of negative thought patterns? Like everyone hates me, especially Natsuki. Oh, that's terrible. I don't think Natsuki hates you. How do you know? Well, because Monica thinks back to the time that she herself found herself in an altercation with Natsuki, and how a display of maturity for Monica was enough for Natsuki to reevaluate her own feelings as well. I think Natsuki is just naturally defensive. I think she acts mean when she feels the need to protect herself. But you know, she's really not a bad person. In fact, I think she can be really thoughtful and considerate. I guess the way it works is that she wants to receive some degree of kindness first before she feels comfortable returning it. Oh, but that means the burden is on me, and I don't know how to say things that make people like me. Every time I open my mouth, Yuri shakes her head at herself and tugs at her hair. It's okay, Yuri, you don't need to beat yourself up. I think anyone would like you if they had the chance to get to know you. Well, unfortunately, the opposite is true. That's why I'm not talkative anymore in the first place. Because everyone used to think I was weird and talk about me behind my back. That's just what happens when I draw attention to myself. Natsuki even said she found it more respectable when people speak their mind. So I did, and then she hated me anyways. That was enough to confirm my fears.
But Sayori and I like you, and we've gotten to know you a lot by now, right?
Yuri doesn't seem to have a response. Hey, what do you think of Natsuki? I don't think about her. That's not what I meant, really. I was wondering if you had an opinion of her. I do. What is it? Natsuki seems to bring out the worst in me, and I feel really ashamed of it. I like to think of myself as a fairly sophisticated person. So for someone to just treat me like I'm inferior despite my taste, that's just the worst kind of insult coming from someone like her. I feel like she did used to be like, I don't know, like an otaku or something, because she does seem to like have so much, self-worth invested into like what she likes, and it being like
sophisticated and like respectable and things like that. So it does kind of make me think she used to be picked on for liking anime or manga or something. And she did say she used to read it before. That's just the worst kind of insult coming from someone like her. And it makes me think bad things about her. But everyone else seems to like her, so the only explanation is that it's me who's doing something wrong again. And my feelings about her are wrong. And I'm wrong to get upset over something so childish and inconsequential. No, Yuri. Feelings are never wrong. Well, they're not right. That's the thing. Feelings are never right or wrong, you know? They're just a state of being, and we don't always have control over. That we don't always have control over. But that doesn't mean they have to control us. Man, these side stories are becoming like my therapy session. Thank you, Monica and Sayori, for the nice pep talks. I feel like that's something I learned around when I first started the club. We can hate ourselves for feeling a certain way about things, or we can, just acknowledge that they exist and try to understand them better. I can never be mad at you for just feeling a certain way. It's about how you handle them. And I think working through feelings is a great opportunity for teamwork. Yuri wears a dejected expression. You make it sound so easy. You're so mature. And so good with people. I feel like such a child in comparison. Oh, Yuri, I'm far from perfect. But these are learned skills. They don't come naturally to me either. It's really hard to reflect on yourself and separate your feelings from your thoughts. I just want to be a good person. Well, I think it takes a good person to get this far. That's not good enough. I want to be able to communicate it with her. Communicate what? How I feel. How it makes me feel frustrated and upset when she's so negative and dismissive of the things that mean so much to me. And how it reminds me of me. Because I know what it's like to feel misunderstood and angry at everyone. I know that telling yourself you're better than everyone else is just a defense mechanism. Yeah, they both do have a lot in common with being kind of made fun of and stuff. I guess Yuri said that mostly people talked about her behind her back, but that's pretty similar, to people just being mean to your face like how Natsuki is. At least to me, Both are very disrespectful, especially if you know what's happening. We're just people. We're fragile and unstable, but I'm just tired of that getting in the way. I can't stand it when the peace is disturbed like this. Yeah, you can't focus on your reading when peace is disturbed, right? Because the literature club should be happy for everyone. Monica looks at Yuri in adoration. I feel like Sayori must be rubbing off on me because I really want to hug you right now. Sorry, I didn't mean to make you feel uncomfortable. No, are you gonna hug her? Well, if you wanted to, then I wouldn't really mind, so... Monica pulls Yuri into a short embrace. You're so gentle, and I love when you communicate your feelings. I feel lucky to get to see that side of you. And I'm sure Natsuki will too. Aw, cute. I'm going to write her a letter. Oh, a letter? What a great idea. Just because I'm not good at talking, especially under pressure. I always let my feelings get the best of me and forget to say all the important things. And I say things I don't mean. Well, I think a letter would be wonderful. Such a nice way to communicate. Yuri's face hardens with determination. He's gonna give her this long letter with all these really complicated words. What the hell is this? Oh my god, this is so convoluted. Hopefully not, but that's just kind of my first thought about it. Just because, Natsuki never liked Yuri's poems, and then vice versa, People don't naturally gravitate towards me like they do for you and Sayori. My personality just isn't suited for that. And I wouldn't want it to be. Something I've learned is that friendship doesn't always just magically appear out of thin air. For instance, I never would have seen myself making friends with someone like Sayori. We're opposites in a lot of ways, but I'm friends with her because she puts so much effort into understanding me so that we can get along. I think it's the same with you. You both gave me a lot of time and patience, and I wonder if she feels the same way. Natsuki? Yeah, everybody just needs time and patience to get to know each other. I always thought that if I wanted to make more friends, I had to be somebody that I'm not. That there's a type of person or a magical formula that I have to follow in order to make someone like me. And that's just like me to think that. Always so occupied with myself that I fail to understand other people. Yuri shakes her head. Friendship happens when you think about the other person. When you offer time and effort to understand them and respect them and trust that they also want to be a good person. That's what I learned through my observations in the literature club. Observations? Monica is caught by surprise. Yuri has always kept to herself so much that it's so unusual to hear her suddenly talking about the club like this. Yuri gently smiles to herself. You always let me listen to your thoughts about people. Sayori too.
And it makes me happy because I learn a lot of things. That's so sweet. I had no idea it meant that much to you. Monica never thought much of it, but in the past weeks, Yuri always seemed to be especially attentive when it came to the problems and concerns of others. Always wanting to listen and learn more about her friends in the club. Yeah, I guess it kind of helps her learn to be like more social and stuff too. It's true, Sayori and Monica are naturally more comfortable with other people and can more easily work through situations of conflict. But that doesn't make them better people. Everyone has strengths and weaknesses and the capacity to improve. And the first step towards improving oneself is reflection and self-awareness. It's something Yuri never gave herself enough credit for, but that Monica can recognize as an incredible trait. And with that, her confidence in the club is restored. Yay! A very shy girl with long, pretty hair is wandering the bustling lunchtime hallways, her fists pressed into her collarbone. When she finds the literature club president's classroom, she stands at the door, glancing all around her before peering inside. Monica is sitting and chatting with a group of unknown friends. Yeah, as expected, this was a bad idea after all. Who is this? Suddenly, Monica glances towards the door, making the girl panic and... Oh, okay, this is Yuri when she first found the club. That's what I'm thinking at least. I was like, is this somebody else Monica knows? I was like, ooh, new character? The metaverse people are gonna be like, who the hell is this? Suddenly, Monica glances towards the door, making the girl panic and duck out of sight. Before she can regain composure and decide for sure to leave, the classroom door gently opens. Yuri, what a surprise to see you during lunch. Yuri squeaks, okay, this is actually a current sort of thing. Okay, this is during lunch, so she's talking with other people. I was thinking this was a flashback or something. Please help me. What, is everything okay? Yuri shakes her head. I don't know how to write letters. Thank goodness. I thought there was some kind of emergency. Monica briefly glances over her shoulder at her other friends. Do you want some help? You can go find an empty classroom or something. Is that okay? I feel bad taking you away from your friends. It's totally fine, I promise. We weren't really doing anything. One sec. Monica trots back into her classroom and says something like, I gotta go, to her friends, then grabs a pen off her desk before returning to Yuri. Okay, let's find somewhere quiet. Yuri nods and follows Monica as the two of them set off. I wonder if this letter is gonna do well or not, because we do still have the Yuri and Natsuki story, so I'm kind of wondering, what if the letter makes it worse, and then we have to go through the story to fix that too? I'm kind of thinking that could be the case, but I guess we'll see. How are you today? Huh, me? Well, yes. Oh gosh, sorry, I was just caught off guard. I'm doing well today, just tired. I never seem to get enough sleep during the week. How come? I don't know. I think I'm just easily distracted. I get really stuck into things and start neglecting the time. Me too, I do that too. Hey, this classroom is empty, let's go in here. After peering inside, Monica opens a classroom door and the two of them enter. Yuri's moment of relaxation ends. She watches as Monica pulls two chairs up to the same desk, then obeys as Monica beckons her to take a seat. She stares down at the empty desk. You nervous? I don't want to do this. We don't have to, we can just come up with something else. Yuri shakes her head. It's my chance to do something good. I need to take initiative. Gosh, you must really be determined. I know how hard it is to step out of your comfort zone. I'll be sure to encourage you. Yuri pushes through her anxiety and grabs a handful of lined papers from her notebook. Then she picks up her pen. Ah, yay! She looks so scared. Cute. Hey, you're left-handed. That's neat. Yeah. No, now you don't have to worry about bumping your arm. Monica playfully rubs her shoulder against Yuri's. Sorry, I'm just being silly, I guess. Anyways, how about we start by listing the different ways you want to say... Is Monica flirting with her? That's kind of what it feels like. Anyways, how about we start by listing the different things you want to say to her? Yuri thinks. I feel embarrassed all of a sudden. It's okay. How about some of the things you said to me yesterday? But... Never mind, I guess I'll try. She looks so upset. Yuri thinks for a moment longer, her tension evident. Then she writes the word reflection. This is about my reflection on our behavior. The key question is why we act like this towards each other, but have been able to separately be friends with Sayori and Monica. Hey, that's me! Yes, it is. So, Yuri thinks, I've been able to befriend the two of you because you've taken the time to understand my needs and respect my interest. Uh-huh. The same goes for Natsuki, too. We started off as pretty hostile to each other, but because I was worried about getting what I wanted, but she just wanted to be respected more than anything else. Once I stopped making it about me, she was able to do the same. I want to do that too. So what kind of things do you want to do for her? I want I want to do the same things for her that I like to receive. I'm gonna read some manga. I like it when people respond positively to the things I talk about, and not just brush me off. I like it when my feelings are taken seriously, and I like when you and Sayori trust that I want to be a good person even when I'm not doing a good job at it. Let's write those things down. Okay, Yuri writes some things down. I think the most important thing to remember here is that Natsuki is feeling vulnerable, so we should make sure that the letter puts her first. It's hard when you're feeling hurt, but it never helps to just tell someone all the things that they're doing wrong. I think, first, you have to make sure they know you're ready to respect them and listen to them, and admit the things that you feel you could do better. Then finally, you can ask what you would like in return. How does that sound for the statement? It could be 3 paragraphs, one for each of these points. I like that. Oh yeah, her face is much better now. A lot less tense. My thoughts were so disorganized, I had no idea how to come up with any kind of structure. You're so amazing at these things. Oh, stop. Oh, you're so amazing at these things. Oh, stop. You've done so much more than I have, you know? You spend so much time reflecting and being open-minded. That's the hardest thing for anyone to do. All I'm doing is helping you put that onto a piece of paper. So I think you're the amazing one. we are flirting here, aren't we? Monica gives Yuri's hand a quick squeeze. But as she lets go, she's caught by surprise when Yuri curls her fingers to hook Monica's hand in place. While they sit in silence, save for the occasional scratching of Yuri's pin against the paper. Are they holding hands? Oh my god. This is a little fruity, huh? You guys really do seem like you're flirting here. I think it's kind of cute though. I could ship it. For a while they sit like that in silence, save for the occasional scratching of Yuri's pin against the wall. Yesterday you told me something that I'm thinking a lot about. What was that? The thing about how feelings aren't right or wrong and that they're just a state of being we need to come to terms with. It made me think about how a person's behavior isn't always just how they decide to be. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of similarities between like what Monica and Sayori are both saying. I honestly did kind of feel like a therapy session for a little bit though. I was like, damn, I should really start applying that to myself. It made me think about how a person's behavior isn't always just how they decide to be. It's also made up of their past experiences and their insecurities. I think that helps me see other people as actual people rather than as insignificant side characters who are out to get me somehow. I used to think of everybody as NPCs. Is that how you felt about Natsuki? Yuri nods. But in reality, everyone is always trying their best and everyone wants to be happy. Monica peers over at Yuri's paper, but to her surprise, Yuri pulls it closer, partially covering it with her arm. I have to be able to read it to help you out, you know? It's okay, my thoughts are a lot more organized now after being able to talk to you about it. Now I'm actually putting it on paper, I realize I'd really prefer others to not read it. Aw, she looks so happy now. Yuri laughs softly to herself, a rare expression. I'm kinda glad to hear that, actually. I somehow keep finding ways to butt into this whole thing. I've done enough damage. I guess like I can see Monica, since she's like a perfectionist, she's kind of a control freak too, just like wants to fix everything. I guess especially since she's like the president as well. It's always been so wonderful talking about this. I mean, I always thought you were really smart, but... Yuri smiles. Now I think you're beautiful. Let's hold hands again. I will always be terrible at these things. People are just so incomprehensible to me. I'll never get the hang of being one. But listening to you so much has really helped me make sense of things. So just don't call it damage, please. Monica gives Yuri a gentle smile. That's cute. I like this CG a lot. This might be one of my favorites so far. I can't believe I came to this club looking for fantasy geeks and all I got was real friends who value me. Is that a joke? Of course it is. I still can't tell with you. Sorry. No, I love it. Please never change. As you wish. Aw, that's cute. Yuri glances at the clock. We're almost out of time. Will you be able to finish? Before the end of the day, probably. But I don't want to come to the club the same day that Natsuki reads it. I'm too shy. I can give it to her instead if you'd like. Yuri nods. Hopefully that doesn't make her mad. As long as you promise not to read it. Of course, I promise. Thank you. Yuri exhales and the two stand up. I'll message you when it's ready. Monica nods. Good luck. I'm here if you need me. Yuri returns a nod and the two depart. Aw, cute. Maybe they won't fight in the next one. Okay, I got some more pictures. No new mail though. That's so sad. Oh, we got the Yuri one. Finish the side story, Reflection 2. So I got 3 more, even though we only got 1 more side story. Feel like we got some more stuff to unlock, huh? 79. We're at like almost 80%. We have 2 more side stories left. There's gotta be some other stuff. I wonder if there's gonna be like more side stories I'm gonna unlock after this. Okay, self-love, part 1.
It's only been one day since Yuri's letter was delivered to Natsuki with Monica's help. Because Yuri chose not to attend the club meeting that day, she and Natsuki haven't faced each other since. Although it's only lunchtime, Yuri finds herself anxiously counting the hours until she will need to face the outcome of her efforts, whether good or bad. I feel like it would make me more nervous to like not show up, honestly, than to actually be there while she reads it. It's like awkward, but and like I guess it's like awkward or like stressful, but it's only awkward and stressful like while they're reading it, you know what I mean? I always feel like the confrontation's better than like the before part, you know? And because the passing by of students was making her feel even more anxious, Yuri picked out the most secluded spot she could find to spend her lunch. Because the staircase is under maintenance, no student would have any reason for coming here. It's such a relaxing feeling to have a moment of solitude in the middle of a frantic school day. Oh, what are you doing here? More alike than they thought. Both wanted to have like a secluded place. I just... Yuri grips her book with enough force to wrinkle the pages beneath the pressure of her thumbs. Well, what are you doing here? I just came to get a drink from the vending machine. The other one is out of the drink I like. Yuri notices Natsuki fidgeting with a few coins between her fingers. She nods, avoiding eye contact. Natsuki, also looking away, shuffles over to the vending machine. It's so quiet that every one of her movements seem to reverberate through the entire stairwell. I wonder if the letter helped at all or not. It's kind of hard to tell right now. At first I didn't think it would, but then after like Monica worked on it too, I was like, well, maybe it'll do well. But then her not being at the club, I feel like Natsuki could get like upset at that because I feel like she kind of prefers when people just kind of confront stuff head on, you know what I mean? But we'll see. After far too long, she finally receives her beverage, which she then fidgets with in place of the coins. It's some kind of iced tea, but instead of leaving it right away, Natsuki just stands in place. She glances all around her. It's like way too quiet back here. It's creepy. I mean, that's not what I meant really. I mean, it's totally cool that it's your thing or whatever. Like, I can see how it suits you, so not because I think you're creepy or something. I didn't mean that either. You know, I'm just gonna stop talking. That seems like a good idea. It's okay. Everything is okay. Yuri finds herself attempting some words of comfort after hearing Natsuki stammer herself into dejection. Seemingly in response, Natsuki approaches the base of the staircase and hesitantly sits herself down near Yuri. Well, I can leave if you want. Yuri shakes her head. Natsuki twists the cap off her drink and takes a sip. Despite receiving Yuri's general permission, Natsuki doesn't say anything more. Yuri continues to read, or at least pretends to. Aw, so awkward. And the two just sit there for a long time. The tension seems to fade a little bit as time passes. Even without saying words, this seems to mean at least something, though it's not clear what that may be. I guess it's some kind of progress. Lunch ends more quickly than expected. Natsuki is the first to stand up with her emptied drink bottle. Are you coming today? To the club? Yuri nods. I'm sorry for being so awkward. I'm really bad at talking about this stuff. I just can't for some reason. I don't know why. They are both really bad at, like, vulnerability. But I want to, eventually. There's no rush. I promise. Thanks. Yeah, just gotta understand each other. It's the next day. Natsuki appears from around the corner and steps up to the vending machine, glancing at Yuri as she does. Today she seems to be holding some kind of book as well. Oh, you're here again. Well, I just came here to read this because there aren't any people around here. Oh, I thought you didn't like how quiet it was. Well, I don't, but there's no people here. I see. Natsuki sits down. Does actually like it. The mood feels much different today than it did yesterday. After yesterday's lunch and the club meeting that followed, Natsuki and Yuri are beginning to feel more relaxed around each other again. Although Yuri's letter is still lingering in the back of Natsuki's mind, she continues to detour around it. But it's okay that I'm here? Well, yeah, I don't care. I mostly just don't like dealing with the crap I get from my friends about it. Especially since they all just assumed I stopped reading manga after I joined the literature club. Not that I'm trying to hide it from them exactly. They're just a bunch of dicks. But I just don't want it to come up again now that I've waited so long for this new volume to come out, literally months at this point. You don't have other friends who are into manga? Not unless online friends count. And Sayori, but that's different because she's not exactly into it. She just likes it, you know what I mean? Honestly, you're lucky that the books you're into at least look like books. You don't have to feel like everyone is constantly judging you by what you're reading. That would be so awful, especially since I already hate attention so much. Well, it's a good thing I have thick skin, I guess. By the way, I would totally recommend finding some friends online if you haven't already. If you're like me and have no one to share your hobbies with. Oh, I have some online friends. Since middle school, actually. I was especially desperate back then. It's somewhat embarrassing to reminisce about those days. Sometimes I feel like the me from a few years ago would have benefited from a good smack across the face. Were you like a troll or something? Oh, whatever. We were all just stupid kids back then anyways. Some of the fanfics I wrote, thank God I used a pseudonym. All those smutty fan fictions. But I liked it at the time. I got a lot of fulfillment out of it. And plus, I can look back and say with confidence that I've become a better person since then. So I don't think I would change anything.
I wonder if a few years from now we'll think the same thing about our current selves.
Probably.
That doesn't make you uncomfortable?
And no, of course not. I don't care what other people think of me. Especially someone who doesn't even exist yet. Alright, here. Natsuki raises her hand to face and forcibly slaps her own cheek. That's me from the future, coming to terms with me right now. Also, ow, I didn't mean to hit that hard. Yuri doesn't seem to react, but then to Natsuki's surprise, Yuri shyly looks the other way before lifting her arm and doing the same thing to herself, loudly smacking her cheek. She turns red and stares into her lap, but is unable to hide a smile as though it was a really funny joke. I like how flustered she gets. That's what I'm talking about. I didn't know you had it in you.
I don't even know why I did that. Maybe I just thought it would be funny. Sorry, I keep distracting you. You said you were looking forward to reading, but I keep going on about all this nonsense. I'll let you get to your reading.
Oh, right. Aw, you just want to hang out. Yeah, I guess I'll do that then.
Conversation ends quickly, and Natsuki opens up her book.
She didn't really want to read her book, she just wanted to hang out.
The two read silently for the remainder of the lunch hour. But the whole time, Yuri feels distracted by a twist of regret over having so abruptly forced the end of their conversation. I can kind of understand though, I feel like she's just like maybe nervous. Cause it's like hard when you're not used to like being social, you know? And it's like, you kind of get like overwhelmed and you're like, I kind of want this to end for a little bit. Like, just need to like break out, even if like you're enjoying it. I don't know, I get like that sometimes. This is nice though, it seems like they're not actually gonna fight very much during their, you know, chapter. You're back.
Yeah, I'm here to lay low again.
Another day has passed. During lunchtime, Natsuki finds herself having wandered to the stairwell once more.
Hey, did you buy that?
Natsuki quickly notices a bottle of iced tea on the staircase where she normally sits. Yuri nods, avoiding eye contact. That's sweet.
What, like for me? But you didn't know I was coming here today. What if I didn't show up?
Well, I would have drank it myself, I guess. It was a stupid thing for me to do.
No, it wasn't stupid. I just thought, never mind. The kundere and the tsundere. What I meant to say is thank you, and that it's a really nice gesture.
It's okay if you don't feel that way.
I do. It was the other things that I didn't mean. I swear, please believe me.
Yuri pauses, then nods. Talking is hard, I get it wrong a lot too. So I believe you. Natsuki exhales in relief. She then sits down next to Yuri and takes the drink. Knowing Yuri, she was probably overthinking it so much that Natsuki's tepid response filled her with self-doubt.
I'll do something nice for you next time.
Please, don't feel obligated.
I want to. I want to do nice things too.
Okay. Thank you.
Aw, they're so awkward. Their friendship's cute though. You can thank me after I figure out how to do something nice.
It's nice to see them interact like positively too. We never really got to see them like positively interact in like the main game. I'll do it then too. Natsuki sighs.
Nothing. It just reminds me how I haven't been getting along with my friends lately.
Is that why you've been coming here?
Well, no, not exactly. I haven't been avoiding them on purpose or anything. There are just other things I'd rather be doing during lunch lately.
No, you just don't like them. They're jerks.
Ditch 'em, ditch 'em, ditch 'em. I like being around them when we're all just having fun, but they also just can't take anything seriously. Like when I'm, I don't know, feeling serious, then their attitudes just get really on my nerves. It's like, it's only gotten worse ever since I joined the literature club.
How come?
I don't know. I know what it's like to have good friends. I feel like I used to be really good with just putting up with it because it would be so stupid to cause drama over a joke I didn't like or something. But I just have a hard time doing that lately. But it's my fault for being overly sensitive. If I have a problem, I'm not going to demand for everyone around me to change. No, they're jerks, Natsuki. She doesn't want to put up with it anymore because she knows what it's like to have real friends. Real true friends.
But
yeah, I know. Monica and Sayori don't really agree with that kind of thing, but they're not in my position, so it's easy for them to say that you should communicate your feelings or whatever. It's not like my friend group does that kind of thing. I would just be making an embarrassment of myself. Sorry, none of this has anything to do with you. I don't know why I'm talking about it.
It's okay. I like listening.
What? Listening to other people's problems?
Yes.
That's weird. Sorry.
I just like learning about people. Do you think it's weird?
No, that's not weird.
I feel like weird is like Yuri's, like the word that really upsets Yuri the most, and then like cute is what upsets Natsuki the most.
No, that's not weird. I probably just misunderstood, so I don't know. Does that mean I should keep going?
If you'd like.
Okay. Well, I don't know what to talk about now.
What are some things that you like about your friends?
A lot of things. I mean, they're really fun to hang out with, like after school and on the weekends. And they really like my baking. And it's fun to complain about school together. They make me laugh a lot, and we have a lot of good memories and inside jokes.
Oh, I'm bad at a lot of those things.
So?
Those are all things that are important to you.
Well, kind of, but they're not things I get. They're not things I need to get out of everybody. Everyone in the club is really different from that, but I'm still friends with them too.
Well, Sayori really likes your baking, and she makes you laugh. And she complains a lot.
That doesn't mean she's anything like my other friends. She's actually nice.
Well, unlike them, she's a nice person who cares about your feelings.
Excuse me? That's what I was thinking. How about you don't talk that way about my friends that you don't know anything about?
I saw them being dicks to you earlier. Natsuki stands up. No, wait! I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. I guess it was kind of out of line, but I do agree with her. I didn't want to say something bad. Please don't leave.
Natsuki sighs and shakes her head. It's fine. As long as you understand that you can't just judge people like that.
I'm sorry. Natsuki sits back down.
You can't just compare friends like that and like measure who's better than who. Everyone's different.
I'm sorry. I hope Yuri sticks up for her in front of Natsuki's friends, because I hate her friends. I just don't like people who want to hurt you.
Aww, a moment of silence stretches between them. Cute. They don't want to hurt me. They just like to tease each other about stupid things. It's fun.
Do they tease anybody else though? I don't like that.
Well, that's why I'm friends with them and you're not.
You like it?
Not really. Just don't worry so much about me. It's not worth it.
I'm sorry. I wish I knew how to help with social conflicts, like how Monica can. She is good at these things.
Not really. Also, I don't always want help. Sometimes it's just stuff I have to deal with myself. That's what Monica and Sayori never seem to understand. Sometimes all you do is look at them wrong and they're like, oh, what's wrong? Is everything okay? God, they care about my feelings. It's so stupid. I just want to mind my own business sometimes and decide myself if I want to talk about things. The only one who understands that is you. So you really shouldn't be so hard on yourself. You're not as bad as you think.
Oh, and you don't need to reassure me or anything.
I mean that. Plus, it makes sense that someone who doesn't talk a lot would make a good listener.
That's nice. Thank you. You're also nice. Just so awkward.
It's really hard for me. It doesn't come naturally at all. It's weird because I always thought of myself as someone who can just say whatever's on my mind. But I feel like that only works when I'm annoyed or upset or I want to say something mean. Why am I like that? You don't have to answer that. I'm just talking to myself.
Yuri nods and remains silent. She was a good person to like vent to. Natsuki notices her fidgeting with the papers of her book.
How come you like reading so much?
Oh, well, a lot of reasons. I just get sucked into it so easily. It's so immersive, like I want to be a part of it. I think there are a lot of things about people in real life that make me feel uncomfortable and frustrated, especially when it comes to following social conventions and group interactions. I just don't really understand it, and I have no real desire to participate. But it's different with books. It feels like I always want to be around the characters. I feel such a strong emotional connection with them in ways that I've never felt with real people. So in that way, I can sometimes feel more real than real life.
Really? Even though we're kind of not, well, I guess it is a real universe according to the emails. So maybe I'm wrong in assuming that it's not. 'Cause that's kind of what it seems like. But then Monica also kind of seemed like she knew. I guess she just knew about our universe for some reason. Because they make it sound like, you know, their universe is just as real as ours. Does that make the Doki Doki universe real? And like whatever universe they're from before that real too? Because I could see it being like the first universe that they're from is real, but Doki Doki is a little bit like, it's a little bit like, not that real. I don't know. Just because Monica, she like realized she was in a video game, but I don't know if it's just that she like noticed us through the screen. I feel like they're all very like real, almost human-like, but it's kind of hard to know about like the other characters, you know what I mean? Like Natsuki's friends and stuff like that. It's hard for you to be around people like all the time.
Fairly often, especially in group settings. When people are making all kinds of conversation and saying jokes and all that, I don't know what to do and I just disengage.
Oh. That doesn't get lonely?
I don't think so. I can still enjoy spending time with people one-on-one. And I have online friends too, of course.
Do you ever wish that you could be friends with the characters in your books?
All the time. Sometimes so badly that it makes my heart ache.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel bad for Yuri. She just needs to kind of like, I don't know, I guess like learn to communicate a little bit better, like not be so shy. She definitely seems to have a lot of like social anxiety. I'm not really sure exactly what you do to help that. Maybe like, I guess therapy probably.
Me too.
Really?
A lot. Aww. Your friends suck, Natsuki. Like more than anything.
After Natsuki mutters that, silence fills the stairwell once more. But it's a mutual silence, one full of understanding. One full of self-love. No more mail though, that's so sad. I feel like I'm probably gonna unlock like a lot of stuff after I beat the final side story though. 80%, see that was only 1%. We still got like 20% because it was literally 79 before I did that. Unless there's just like a lot of stuff I missed, but I feel like I've been doing pretty good in terms of like beating all the games and like unlocking most of the pictures and stuff, like taking out most of the special stuff. Okay, self-love part 2, let's begin. Hey. Oh, hello. I almost thought you weren't coming today. Yeah, well, lunch is already more than halfway over. Natsuki had typically been meeting Yuri in the stairwell much earlier since it had been a good way of dodging her friends when she didn't feel like seeing them, which was every day, all the time. Today she was holding a large plastic container in both hands. I ran to my friends, so I hung out with them for a while. Is that so? Yeah. I was in a good mood today, so I figured I should. I hadn't seen them in a while, which I had to come up with an excuse for, but I expected that. Plus, I have way more of these than I know what to do with, so I figured I would share them too. She sits down. Natsuki opens the lid of her container. You made cupcakes. Yeah, I know it. It's been a while at this point, so I figured it was about time again. You can take one if you want. Yuri takes a cupcake and carefully twirls it between her fingers. It's brown with dark green frosting, immaculately shaped into a floral pattern and topped with some kind of glittery powder. How pretty. It's like a flower kind of thing, I think. I just ate, so I may not be able to finish it. Are they for the club? Yeah, I guess so. I didn't really think about it, I just made them. Oh, I just thought that because green is Monica's favorite color, right? Well, yeah, that's not really. Yuri takes a small bite. This is green tea flavored? Oh yeah, she thought that was her favorite flavor of like ice cream or something, right? I love green tea. Oh, do you? She made them for Yuri. That's so cute. It was just a random idea I wanted to try, so it's not for you or anything, baka. Don't laugh at me. Oh, I'm not. I just feel happy. Oh, sorry. Usually when... Never mind. What I mean is that I'm glad. Sorry for saying dumb things again. I just wanted to do something nice. And this is something I happen to be good at. And I do know that you like them from past experience. You literally ate all of them last time I made them. Yuri turns red, recalling the time she treated herself rather generously to Natsuki's cupcakes. Ironically, her mouth is full of cupcake for her to stammer an excuse, so she just settles for a disapproving look. How'd you get into baking? It just kind of always appealed to me. Well, a few years ago, I read this one manga with a lot of baking, so I got like super into it for a while. I was probably making stuff almost every day. I wish I could bake. That'd be so nice. But it's something that I always knew I liked anyways. It's like baking is like art, and when you get good at it, it gets more delicious too. I'm struggling to imagine myself putting my heart into something so artistic, knowing that it would just be eaten afterwards. Maybe you're just too practical for it. I think I prefer to be on the receiving end. And that's my other favorite part about it. It's something I can do that makes a lot of people happy, like unconditionally. Everyone is always so thankful, and in that moment, you get to be like the bringer of joy. I feel like, did her dad like not feed them or something very often? I feel like there is, yeah. Oh yeah, that's what it was. At one point, like Monica like threw a protein bar or something, and Natsuki like ran to eat it because she like seemed like she was malnourished. I feel like it might have implied that was the reason why she was like kind of short and stuff too. Poor Natsuki. I guess I could see her getting into cooking because of that. Everyone is always so thankful, and in that moment, you get like to be the bringer of joy. I don't know, it just makes me feel valued? Yeah, I guess that. So you were able to make up with your friends today. There wasn't anything to make up with them about. We weren't fighting or anything. You weren't? Maybe I misunderstood. It only turns into a fight if I lose my cool, and that's just unnecessary drama. It only makes things worse. Dude, Yuri, I want you to kick their ass. I want you to open up your third eye and just like blast them off the face of the Doki Doki world. Please, please, Yuri. So they're not going to stop. I mean, it only happens sometimes anyways. It's just the way they are. I'm not the only one who ever has a problem with it. It's not worth it. Especially since I have somewhere to go now when I don't feel like hanging out with them. Oh, I see. I guess like, I remember high school, I feel like there was always groups that would just have like one person in the group they could like make fun of. Like one or two people they would just like pick on. The cupcake's empty foil wrapper audibly crinkles as Yuri clenches a fist. I'm glad the situation is resolved. And you don't have to avoid them anymore. Yeah, me too. And I don't have to bother you during your alone time anymore. I'm sure you have a lot of reading to catch up on. Yeah. Oh, you still want to hang out. I know that the cupcakes are basically nothing compared to all the stuff you've done for me, but it's the best I can do.
So you can have the rest of them. Oh, that's so cute. Yuri grabs the box and slides it over to Yuri's feet. Yuri stares at the box. Then she shakes her head and slides them back. You should save them for your other friends. But I made them for you. Natsuki's voice whines as she protests. I know, and I like them very much, exactly as you thought. You succeeded. But I know you care about making your other friends happy too. And if this is the way you know how to make that happen, then I'm not going to take it from you. No, they were for making you happy. You make me happy. Ah, you're worth more than cupcakes to some people. That's why they want to spend time with you and be your friend. Ah, it's so cute seeing them be friends. Never thought I would see it. Without warning, tears pour from Natsuki's eyes. Aw, I guess like the cupcakes too. Maybe she doesn't feel like she's valued by her other friend group because they're all freaking a-holes. So she like feels like they value the cupcakes more than her. Aw, she pulls her knees to her chest and starts sobbing into her arms. Natsuki, I'm such a bad person. Yuri stammers, feeling panicked. I didn't mean to say something bad. Natsuki shakes her head and wipes her eyes. You didn't. Natsuki tries to choke back her sobs but struggles to speak through them. I just really hate myself sometimes, and it feels so wrong when you say those nice things to me. Like I don't deserve it. I'm sorry. No, I am. I'm so difficult, and I can't think of even a single thing about myself that somebody would like. Aw. And I hated myself for bothering you during lunch. I just thought it was my chance to be a good person, like to be nice and do the things you wrote about in the letter. I knew if I tried in the club, Sayori and Monica would be super annoying and make a huge deal out of it. You know, I think a lot of those negative things too about myself. I never felt like a good person. I always scrutinize everything I say, and later I feel like I say all the wrong things. And I just spend so much time thinking about myself, hating myself, and feeling like everyone else must hate me too. So I understand some of that through my own experience. They are really similar in a lot of ways. And that's why I want to write the letter and express my feelings. It pained me to see those things in someone else that I saw in myself. Natsuki sniffles. Yuri rustles through her bag and pulls out some tissues, then hands them to Natsuki. Monica told me that it takes a good person to reflect on these things. To desire to improve yourself, that makes you a good person, so don't worry so much. Also, there are things about you that people would like, so... You like her? You're best friends now. Like what? Like how you're fun for people to be around. And you're not shy, you know how to make people laugh. And you're very passionate about things, and you know how to take the lead. And you care a lot about other people. And just a lot of things, Baka. Oh. They're both so awkward. Well, now you're making me feel really embarrassed. Well, you're the one who asked. And you don't think I feel embarrassed? Natsuki tries to hide a smile, then she sighs as it fades again. Every time I come here, I always think it's the last time, but then I keep coming back for some reason. Is that bad? Just really confusing. I mean, my friends and I go way back, so judging them after all this time feels like, I don't know. Feels like what? Natsuki's voice gets quiet. Maybe I'm scared that they'll get mad at me. Huh? I really don't know what to do. She pauses. Yuri stares into the distance, tracing her eyes along the patterns of the floor tiles while she thinks to herself. What would you do, hypothetically, if your friends were happy for you instead of mad at you? Happy for what? Happy that your new club is making you happy. Well, that's just not a fair hypothetical because they're assholes. Natsuki says that, but with a little confidence in her voice. I always told myself that I don't rely on the approval of others to be happy. And I still feel that way, but I'm spending time with people who put me down whenever I don't have their approval. That's probably what's making me feel so confused, because I'm threatened out of the things that should make me happy. So no matter what, it's like I have to be unhappy to be unhappy. It's making my head hurt. That must make it really difficult to feel comfortable with yourself. Being made to feel like you're wrong just for being the person you are. Ugh, it really goes against everything I believe in, doesn't it? It goes against the kind of person I want to be. I'm fed up with it. I'm fed up with a lot of things. Natsuki presses her palms into her forehead and shakes her head. I know it's best for me, but I keep convincing myself out of it. Need to ditch him, dude. It's so much easier to be comfortably unhappy than it is to do something so scary. Yuri kicked their ass, you know, to end it. With them? Natsuki nods. Aw, I didn't think you were actively considering that as an option. I wasn't until recently. It's just one of those things where, like, it's been a certain way for so long that you just get used to it. Like, so much of you has gone into it, so much that it feels like that's just how your life is. Throwing it away is like throwing away such a big part of your life. It makes me feel sick to think about. Natsuki sighs. It's really just scary. It's terrifying.
What are you scared of?
I don't know, a lot of things. Like being alone, not having anyone to talk to or hang out with, not being able to replace what I have with them. And I don't want them to hate me. I'm scared they'll hurt me for going against them.
Yeah, I feel like they'll definitely at least, like, shit talk her, basically. Physically?
Not physically, but...
Yuri clenches her fist. Natsuki,
What?
if anyone even thinks to cause you harm, I will summon Satan. I will unleash hell upon them. Weeby was right. I will literally summon Satan and kill them with my third eye. Natsuki snorts in laughter. Don't laugh at me.
Sorry, I like that. That's all.
Oh, well, I meant it.
I know you did.
Natsuki gives Yuri an endearing look.
I needed it.
As the conversation lapses, Natsuki again slides her box of cupcakes over to Yuri.
Just take them, okay? I don't want other people to have them anymore.
Are you sure?
Natsuki nods. I'm sure.
Yeah, those jerks don't deserve them. I will then. I'll enjoy them. Natsuki looks away, but a feeling of warmth spreads through her. She holds on to that feeling, knowing it will give her courage.
Aw, so cute.
It's nice to see them hanging out, being buds. Oh, you're here first today.
Uh-huh.
And you brought reading material.
Uh-huh.
Natsuki is sitting in her usual spot, this time holding a volume of manga while her lunch sits beside her. Yuri sits down as well and opens her own book.
It sucks when a good series has to come to an end. Like, it's such a big part of your life, and then one day there's just nothing left. It makes you feel so empty.
Unfortunately, I'm about to experience that myself. I'm on the last book of this series.
That sucks.
But there's also something satisfying about letting a story conclude. I don't know if I'd want it to go on forever.
Maybe.
Yeah, it gets stale when it does that.
But there are some things that I wish could.
On the other hand, have you ever read something that overstayed its welcome?
Yeah, definitely. I can think of at least one thing I've read that got pretty unbearable like halfway through, and the ending really sucked. So it sucks when something good has to end, but it also sucks when they just keep inventing more plot until you don't like it anymore. I guess it sucks either way.
Uh-huh. Well, that's the nature of all things. They come to an end. The two fall silent. They slowly eat while making their way through their respective reading material. Except Natsuki doesn't seem to be touching her food at all.
You don't go out during the weekends, right?
Excuse me?
Like with friends at the mall or downtown or whatever.
I'm not a total shut-in, you know.
Oh, my bad for making assumptions.
Well, I'm sure I go out less often than other people, like you said, and the others in the club. I don't really meet with friends and arbitrarily spend time like that. I'm usually meeting with my board game group.
And board game group?
And Dungeons and Dragons. It doesn't matter, it's just more nerdy stuff. Oh, does she play Dungeons and Dragons? I could see her doing that. Why do you ask anyways? She is really into fantasy too, so I could see her liking that.
I was just curious. I just realized that I couldn't picture it, so I was just curious. And she gets to like play a character and stuff, you know?
Probably be like more comfortable than like being herself. Yuri looks at Natsuki and realizes that she's shaking.
Don't look at me like that.
Sorry. Natsuki pulls her knees to her chest and puts her head down.
I can't take this.
Did I do something? Yuri gets flustered, her mind racing over what she may have said or done. I don't really know what she did.
Oh, okay. Oh, my bad. I ended it. Oh, she and her friend group. I texted them earlier telling them, and then I just blocked them because I'm so afraid of their responses. And now it feels like I'm dying inside. Oh, that's so awkward. It's so hard. I don't know. It's like easier to text people, but I always hate like sending something like that and then just like waiting, you know, for a response. It's just like the worst feeling ever.
I'm sorry. Totally unsure what to do, Yuri can barely find any words of support to offer. Meanwhile, the sound of Natsuki's unusually hard breathing fills the air. Then she speaks again, barely above a whisper.
Help me. I feel sick and I want to hit my head against things. Please help. I can't take this.
You may be having a panic attack. Aww. With that realization, Yuri's demeanor suddenly changes. I have experience with this, so I'll help you through it, okay? Aw, that's so nice. I feel like the mental health awareness in this game is so good. I'm like, damn, I can relate to all of this. Panic attacks are just like the worst. It literally feels like you're dying. I hate it. It's so like, it's awful too if you're somewhere like public, like a school or like the mall. It's like horrible. It's like embarrassing and scary and just bad. Awful. Natsuki meekly nods through her rapid breath, head still buried in her knees. Yuri slides herself over to Natsuki and sits on the step behind her. Then she puts her hands on Natsuki's shoulders. Can you feel my hands? Natsuki nods. Her shaking becomes more apparent through Yuri's sense of touch. Yuri keeps her voice low and gentle. You're safe right now. You're in a good, safe place. Where nothing can hurt you. Natsuki nods once more. Although Yuri is only touching Natsuki's shoulders, she can practically feel her racing pulse through the base of her neck. We'll do a breathing exercise together. All you have to do is listen to my breaths and breathe along with me. Yeah, that always helps me a lot with panic attacks. Let's breathe in now. Yuri takes a deep, slow breath. I feel like a lot of this stuff, like, does kind of help to apply to your, like, real life, like, mental health struggles. Thank you, Doki Doki Therapy, for the help. Beneath her hand, she feels Natsuki's shoulders rise as Natsuki takes a breath of her own, trying to mimic Yuri. They exhale together, although Natsuki's breath shakes on the way out. That's good, keep going. Yuri breathes in once more, and Natsuki joins her. The thing that I always heard to do is, like, you breathe in for 4 seconds, hold for 7, and breathe out for 8. That always helps a decent bit when I, like, do it when I'm having, like, a panic attack or something like that. It's just nice to kind of focus on something, you know? Yuri breathes in once more, and Natsuki joins her. They continue like that for a few more cycles while Yuri closely monitors. Eventually, Yuri feels Natsuki rest more of her weight into Yuri's palms. It'd be so nice to have a friend like this. I'm sorry, Yuri, for always being mean and talking about your third eye and Project Libitina and stuff and being sketched out by you. Let's focus on the physical world. I don't even care, you know, if you're evil secretly, Yuri. As long as you help me with my panic attacks, you know, girl, I got you. All you have to do is focus on the feeling of your breaths going in and out and the weight of my hands on your shoulders. Oh yeah, it's like grounding. You're in a safe and comfortable physical space. It's another thing my therapist tells me about. Minutes pass in silence. By now, the worst of it has passed, but Yuri is determined to not move away until Natsuki prompts her to. Meanwhile, Natsuki has lifted her head off her knees, and her breathing has mostly steadied. Then she takes a final deep breath and slowly pulls herself to her feet, causing Yuri to let go. She stretches her arms. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to freak out. I don't know what my deal is. You don't have to apologize. This must be enormously stressful for you.
Is that going to keep happening?
It may or may not, unfortunately. We can take measures to help prevent it in the future, but I think it will naturally be better over time. Natsuki motions to sit back down again, so Yuri moves over. Panic attacks are so awful, dude. I go through phases or I've gone through some phases where, like, I've had them, like, a lot, and it's so bad. Yuri turns away to pick up her open book from the dusty floor, which she had hastily set down earlier. She brushes the dust off the cover. I don't think I could have gotten through that alone. Yeah, it's definitely nice to have somebody there with you. You're not alone. Feeling shy again, Yuri speaks into her own lap. Aw, they're cute together. From now on, you don't have to do anything alone.
Aw, look at you guys, best friends.
As she says that, Yuri tenses up. It's rare for her to so openly share her thoughts, but something about Natsuki, of all people, makes it feel so much more natural to do so. Perhaps because, like Yuri, Natsuki is so timid and uncertain of herself. Natsuki does such a good job at hiding it that it's taken a lot of time for Yuri to finally realize it. And because of that, Yuri is able to deliver the reassurance that she herself would have wanted, demonstrating that you deserve the love of others. Aw, if you can accept that for the first time, then perhaps you can begin the tumultuous journey of learning to love yourself. Self-love. Aw, look at how cute they are, reading the little books.
Do you really mean that? You're probably gonna regret saying that if you do.
How so?
Because I'm probably gonna have a lot of free time during the weekends from now on. Oh, we gotta hang out on weekends now. We're besties. So you're giving me permission to be as annoying as I want and drag you around to a lot of places.
I see. I could help her get out of her shell more.
But you already said it, so you can't take it back now.
Well, I suppose I have no choice but to accept that responsibility then. Oh, their friendship's so cute.
This is so wholesome. I know a good ice cream place.
Oh, that means you finally figured out my favorite flavor of ice cream.
Huh? What are you talking about?
Oh, you don't remember? The first day that you came to the club, you guessed everyone's favorite ice cream flavor, but you said you had no idea for me.
Seriously? I don't remember that at all. Oh wait, yeah I do. I said it was probably green tea.
Yuri shakes her head. It's a good guess, but my favorite is usually to get chocolate and raspberry together.
Chocolate and raspberry? How fancy.
How is that fancy?
Oh, I don't know. I feel like I should have guessed something like that.
Well, maybe next time I'll try chocolate and strawberry.
Hey, strawberry is my favorite.
Huh. What a coincidence.
Oh, they're so cute. I'm happy she had her there after she messaged her a-hole friends. I think it helps to have something to look forward to. I still have that sick feeling in my stomach, but it's easier now to convince myself that I did the right thing. Is there anything better I could be doing? Not that I know of. There's nothing that will make this easy for me. And you already did more than I thought anyone could. Come to think of it, we never talked about the letter you wrote, but I feel like we're way past that at this point. I don't even know what to talk about it. except that I think it helped me understand my needs a little bit better, the way I like to be treated, and the kinds of friends that I want to have. And that's why I wanted to start coming here in the first place, even though I was so scared of causing more problems.
I thought it was a coincidence that you ran into me here initially.
Oh, well, not exactly. Kind of figured as much.
What do you mean?
Nothing. I was stalking you a little bit. No biggie. I may have tracked you down first. With the help of Sayori.
But you said...
I was shy, okay? I wasn't ready to whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Well, they're so similar. I guess I'm glad you worked up the courage, even if it was in your own way. I can tell that you've been making a lot of difficult decisions. It's brave and it'll make things better in the long run. I think anyone would be proud of you for it.
Anyone? Oh, you mean you?
Yeah. Oh, like me.
So freaking cute.
This game is so wholesome and then so creepy sometimes. How can a game that's so wholesome have so many creepy moments in the original story too?
You know, I can get used to this as long as you don't tease me too much.
That's fine. Oh, so freaking cute. I know how uncertain everything feels to you right now, but I really do think that good things are in store. Those are my honest feelings.
Thanks. It feels nice to be reassured. Aw, yay! So freaking adorable.
The two girls continue their conversation through the remainder of lunch, but a new feeling hangs in the air, a feeling of greater certainty in their path forward. In just a few hours, there will be another literature club meeting where the 4 club members will happily spend time together. Each of them, all with their own special qualities, have something unique that they can deliver to one another. Through friendship and literature, the club members will continue to grow and find new happiness together. The end of each chapter is the start of the next. Yuri thinks to herself, since she's about to finish her long-running series, it would be the best to have a new book lined up. Perhaps this weekend would be a good time to visit the bookstore. Is that the end? Together.
Aw, together with Natsuki. That's so cute. Ah, new mail. I know it's gonna be something good, right? Okay, I'll look at the pictures first.
They're actually the cutest friends, I feel like. I feel like their friendship might be my favorite now. Aw, I didn't expect it too. I just kind of expected them to I don't know, yell at each other the whole time. But they actually ended up being really cute and sweet together. Re-ethics. Simply put, it's not our job to arbitrarily decide upon some code of ethics just because we're the first ones to do this, to our knowledge. That's the government's job to figure out, long after we've made enough headway for it to no longer apply to us. It's fundamentally flawed to apply ethical reasoning to this anyways, because humanity's code of ethics is based upon nothing more than our knowledge and understanding of life forms similar to ourselves. We don't have ethics for killing bacteria or plants, only for the creatures that we can convincingly project our emotions onto. The humans in our VMs operate completely different from us on a fundamental level, and therefore should not be taken any more seriously than a machine that's programmed to print "I feel sad." We are engineers, not philosophers. Somebody feeling bad about messing with them? I don't know, I guess it does kind of give me Black Mirror vibes with there was several episodes where they would have AI, but the AI would be so intelligent that it was practically human. And so the real humans would torture them, and it felt very wrong. So it's kind of what that's reminding me of. I guess somebody feels bad about how they've treated Monica and the other Doki Doki members. But that's all I got from this one. I'm kind of surprised. I thought that I would get more. I'm not really sure if I should be maybe looking a bit more or what. Is there more side stories? Oh, equals. There's a final one. Ah, look at that. I guess we can go ahead and do it. Okay, everyone, we're going to be taking a break from the usual activities today. I mean, they don't seem tortured in this simulation. They seem happy. But what's going on with the real Monica? Or is this the real Monica? Or is there a bunch of Monicas, and of the Monicas are getting totally screwed over right now and tortured? I mean, Monica in her note, I think to the player, in one of the secret files, she said that they were all dead. So I don't even know how they're able to do this simulation in the first place. I'm guessing there's just these might be duplicates of their character files, the original ones or something like that. I guess I could see that being the case. I was thinking, since people are starting to talk about the festival, it's a good time for us to go over the general direction of the club and all that. Oh my god, the festival. The festival that never happens. I think it'll help us figure out what to do for the festival, you know? Will I ever see the festival? Sayori and I already came up with a really good plan. Really? For the festival? Yeah, so the plan is this, okay?
You and Yuri collect information ahead of time on which clubs and classes are doing food booths. Then we take a map and plan the most efficient route so we can get the most of them before the lines get too long.
Hey, that has nothing to do with the clubs.
Well, you have to let me finish.
Alright, go ahead.
Okay, right. So basically, we all get the food we want, then we can come back here and we all eat together. That's all.
Aw. Wow, I got tricked twice by the same joke.
Boo, don't be a hater. It's not like you can come up with anything better. Look, even Yuri was thinking about it.
No, I wasn't. I would really prefer to do something literature related. We can eat together anytime. The festival is a unique opportunity. Besides, it's been quite a while since we've seen any new interest in the club.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. We really get a shot at showing people what the literature club is all about. I'll tell you what, we can do both, right? We can make time for your food mission and still put together a public event. Are we actually gonna see the festival this time? Oh my god, I always get so hyped for the festival, playing the main game. And I'm like, oh yeah, it never happens.
Oh my god, yes!
It's gonna come and then it's gonna be like some crazy ass like despair shit again.
I was just joking, but that's a really good idea.
Well, I'm glad that's settled. I think the question is how to come up with an event that demonstrates everything you can get out of the literature club.
Well, that's kind of tough because everyone gets something different out of the club.
Okay, how about this? Let's go around and have each of us talk about what we've gotten out of the club so far. That could really help us figure out what kind of reputation we want to build.
Yeah!
That's too embarrassing.
But you have so much to talk about.
That's exactly why. I'm sure Natsuki feels the same way.
Oh well. Maybe, but I didn't plan on arguing against it or anything. They are really similar. They're both like so embarrassed to like share their poems or talk. Like went to the Yuri route, Natsuki wouldn't share her poems with me and then like same vice versa. I mean, it's a literature club. We talk about that stuff together, right? And the only way to get more comfortable with it is to suck it up and do it.
Oh, you're not wrong. I'm sorry for being resistant.
It's not good to say suck it up because it sounds like their feelings don't matter.
Right, my bad. It's just a habit I need to break. Well, anyways, who's gonna start?
I'll start. I was the first to join, after all. I'm the vice president, even though I don't really do any presidential stuff.
Wouldn't that be me?
But I want to go first.
Fine. You can start. I don't mind.
Yay! So, gosh, it feels so long ago. I think I joined because I wanted to have fun sharing poems with people. It seemed like it would be a safe way to express myself, you know? Like if it's just a poem that I can share without feeling like I'm burdening everyone with my problems. And I thought it would be a really good way to get to know other people too. So yeah, I was really surprised when I walked in and it was just Monica, just Monica, and she was sleeping.
Don't remind me of that. Oh gosh.
Yeah, but it seems like so much fun to help start a new club, especially since writing helped me so much. I wanted to see it help other people too. But it ended up being me who was inspired, because I remember feeling like Monica was just so sweet and mature that I could trust her with anything. It made me feel a lot less alone, having someone who knew even the bad things about me. And at that point, I knew the literature club was gonna be special for a lot of people.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Special for me and you, and especially you. She like points the screen to me. I'm like, oh, me? Holy shit. We're gonna start breaking the fourth wall again, Weeby. This is the last side story. Something's gonna happen. It really helped to give the club a more cohesive vision.
Yeah, and then Yuri joined, but she was so different from us, and Natsuki too. I think for Yuri, it really helped for me to take the lead before she was able to open up a little. But Natsuki was kind of the opposite, where she wasn't ready to get really close to someone really quickly. I never really thought about that sort of thing. I really feel like I've gotten better at understanding people's different needs. And that makes me feel really happy, because my friends are just the most important thing to me. And whatever new members we get, I want to help them in those ways too.
I don't know if I would have continued coming to the club if it weren't for you.
Really?
Uh-huh. I know it wasn't too long ago, but it hurts to think about my behavior back then. I was really short-sighted. The only reason I came was to find others who were into fantasy. I suppose that was my idea of making friends with people. And I remember feeling uncomfortable because you and I have such different energy. And I had such a specific idea of the kind of person I could be friends with, so when Sayori tried so hard to get to know me, I felt like I was just wasting her time. I think I was naive to assume that similar interests were the key component of friendship. I guess that makes sense to think that, like, Sayori wouldn't want to be friends with her, you know? Sayori and I were able to be friends because she always thinks about the needs of other people. That's something I really never knew how to do or even thought to do. But I stayed in the club, and thanks to that, I started trying as hard as I could to understand people better. You really went above and beyond when it came to that. I was super impressed. Well, I always hated that I didn't know how to behave like a person who is easily liked by others, like the two of you can. And because of that, I spent so much time thinking about my own behavior and all the wrong things I said. But the whole time, I should have been thinking about the other people instead, not myself. Once I started doing that, I was able to make friends with everyone. Oh, also, I discovered that sometimes I'm a better communicator when I take the time to write, rather than speak. It's so strange the way things turned out. It's so far different from anything I ever would have expected. But I'm happy. I suppose we don't always know what we really need.
Oh my gosh, you're so cute that I'm gonna throw up.
Okay, please don't do that, Sayori.
Too late.
Besides, I'm not cute.
Hey, that's my line.
Oh. Well, for me, it's actually true, so...
What are you saying?
Nothing. I finished my part, so somebody else take their turn.
My heart.
Sayori, take some deep breaths.
I'm gonna throw up again. Okay, fine, I'll go. Yuri, I can't believe you were complaining about doing this and still went before me. What a show off.
I was just following up on Sayori. It was the easiest way to get it over with.
Besides, you left out the most important thing that you get out of this club.
I did?
Yeah, a regular supply of your favorite cupcakes. Oh no, I forgot that too. The most important thing. I'm a traitor to the cupcake queen. Neither of you are forgiven. Looks like only Monica will be getting cupcakes next time. Only Monica and just Monica. No!
I can't eat that many cupcakes. I don't know if it's purposeful that they're saying like only Monica. Just Monica, but it's giving me vibes. Giving me little flashbacks, you know what I mean? I can't eat that many cupcakes.
Yeah, true. Only Yuri can.
Hey.
Well, anyways, I'm just putting off talking. It's kind of hard to talk about this stuff. But I guess what it comes down to is that I'm in a much better place mentally than I was when I first joined. And that's because everyone helped me realize that I had some really toxic friendships going on outside of the club. It was honestly a really painful thing to go through, having to cut them out. It still hurts to think about it. I'm sorry, Natsuki. It's fine. I knew it was for the best, and I was right. For me, it's about feelings. I was only ever ridiculed for having feelings, so I thought the right thing to do was just ignore them. It took me a really long time to realize that it's not really how things are supposed to work. And I guess that's thanks to everyone who took the time to respect my feelings, even when I was being like the biggest jerk. I'm really sorry for being a jerk to everybody. Oh, it's okay, Natsuki. I forgive you. I voice everybody, so literally me forgiving you is like everybody forgiving you. I was really the worst.
Natsuki's voice chokes a little.
We love you, Natsuki. I just hate that I was like that. Everyone did so much for me and I could never do anything in return.
That's not true. The cupcakes. Natsuki, you've done a lot more than you think. This club really wouldn't have been the same without you. I mean that. Remember how judgmental I was when you first showed up? It was like I couldn't accept anything other than my own idea of what the literature club was supposed to be. Apparently that was more important to me than the opportunity to bring you some happiness. You really taught me that anything that can make someone happy is worthy of respect. You even inspired me to start playing piano. That's something that means a whole lot to me. So there's no need to put yourself down. Poor Natsuki, I feel like she does put herself down a lot.
Okay.
Natsuki wipes her eyes.
You help me a lot too. It's so much fun to have you around. And we get to eat cookies off the floor together. And you help me become a better person. Having a problem doesn't make you needy or inconvenient. I mean that there is something that needs to be better for you, and you always deserve that.
I agree. Seeing us have some of the same struggles made me a better person as well. I wouldn't want to change anything about our time here.
Aww.
I don't think any of us would.
I'm sorry, I got all dramatic again. That's all I wanted to say, so Monica can go now.
There's no need to apologize. It was something I wanted to talk about anyways, because it made a big difference for me. I was always such a strict perfectionist who never took enough time to believe in the best of other people, but everyone kept proving me wrong. I made the mistake multiple times, thinking that my way was the best for everyone, or thinking that I needed to solve other people's problems. But I think being a leader means that you have to acknowledge that you're not perfect, and the best thing you can do is to help guide people rather than do everything for them. We're all good people, we're all equals. I think that's the most important thing I've gotten out of this club, realizing what that really means. Sayori, what are you doing?
I just thought we should be writing some things down. Things about the club that are valuable to us.
With a piece of chalk in her hand, Sayori writes the word trust on the chalkboard. Oh, it's gonna go through like each of the words.
This is because you showed me that I could trust you with everything about me, not just my good side.
Suddenly, Yuri takes a piece of chalk as well. She writes understanding. I owe a lot of gratitude to everyone who took the time to understand me, even though it was so difficult for me to express myself.
In that case, Monica takes a piece of chalk as well and writes the word respect. I always thought I was a respectful person, but it took the club for me to realize that there was more to it than I thought, and I am a better person because of it.
I have another one. Sayori writes balance. Sometimes people want different things to have a friendship, or they need time before they're ready to become close. So it's important to keep things balanced between you and the other person.
That reminds me, Yuri writes reflection. I've always been a reflective person, but most of it has been nothing more than hating myself for all the things I thought I did wrong. Once I started reflecting on other people, and not just myself, a lot of things changed for me. So I think that's the most important one for me.
That's great. We all have a whole list of things now. Suddenly everyone turns to look at Natsuki. Hey, write something, Natsuki. Well, everyone took all the chalk. Don't look at me like that, jeez. You could have just asked. Monica hands her a piece of chalk to Natsuki. The Natsuki sighs and writes self-love. I don't know how far I've gotten with this yet, but it feels like things are at least on the right track. Aw, poor Natsuki. People are so mean to her. You deserve to have self-love, Natsuki. So there, that's my contribution. Together, everyone stares at the words on the board. Wasn't this club supposed to be about literature? It kind of became a therapy session.
It is. We still do a lot of literature. Friendship and literature.
Yeah, you're right. Friendship and literature. Natsuki and Yuri gently nod as well. Hey, let's all take a picture together. We don't have one yet, right?
Yeah, you're right. Make sure you send it to me after.
Wait, can I brush my hair first or something?
Oh, you're fine. You always have the best hair out of all of us. Everyone get together. I can't fit you all in.
Okay.
Everyone ready? Oh, it's gonna be cute. And click. Yay! It's gonna be wholesome. I want to see everybody. Oh, I want to see it. I'm glad we talked about this stuff. I guess it'll be in the picture section. It's easy to forget how far we've come with only 4 members.
Yeah, I have so many happy thoughts right now.
Why is it doing this to me? This is totally purposeful. This is totally purposeful. No bad Sayori. Just Monica, happy thoughts. I don't trust this game. I don't trust it as far as I could throw it.
I have so many happy thoughts right now. I'm getting some really good inspiration for a poem.
Don't write that poem, Sayori. Don't write that one. You know, I feel the same way. I kind of want to get some writing done.
Me too.
I'm scared. I feel like they're doing this on purpose now.
I think I would like that as well.
Everyone's looking at me again. I'll do it too, but I might not feel like sharing it. That's okay. Okay, everything's still happy. The 4 members of the literature club disperse and return to the desk, each equipping themselves with a pen. Natsuki and Yuri give each other a quick glance, then start writing immediately. Sayori stretches, then does the same. But Monica is left tapping her pen against the paper, unsure of where to start. Just move your hand. Monica mounts to herself. Oh yeah, she still has a hard time doing this, I guess. Right the way into your heart. Her mind is full of thoughts, memories, and inspiration. Monica navigates past her mental barriers and begins to write. It doesn't matter what, just that it's something new. Oh yeah, it's the writing music. I was like, what is that? It sounds a little creepy. Dude, I'm on edge. I'm on edge after seeing Happy Thoughts. Oh, look at this. I guess this is the credits? Aw, cute. Nothing bad happened. I was really thinking something bad was gonna happen for a second there. Oh, I was so on edge, Dan. How could you do this to me? This is so cute. The updated art looks so good. I wonder how you unlock everything else though, because there's quite a few different pictures and stuff I didn't unlock. I may have to look up a guide for some of this stuff to actually see how to like unlock it, you know? I feel like with this game too, there's always like so many hidden things. It makes me want to like, you know, get everything because I feel like there could just be like hints for stuff anywhere, you know? So that's another reason why I've been like pushing myself so hard to like try to max out like everything. Thank you to your player for enjoying our story of friendship and literature. Is this you, Metaverse, talking to me, or is it, okay, it's Team Salvato. I was like, Made with Love by Team Salvato. Oh, it's gonna load again. Oh, yay, we get to see the picture. Cute. Everybody looks so pretty. Aww, adorable. Let's see, friendship and literature. There's nothing else here, right? Nope, no more side stories. Oh, they have a goofy one. That's cute. And everybody make a funny face. Oh, that's so freaking adorable. I love it. Aw, it's precious. Aw, it's so freaking cute. I didn't get any more mail though. May have to look up some stuff and come back to this. Oh, hey, look at this. Finish all the side stories. Aw, so pretty. Why are you so pretty, Monica? Still a lot of promo stuff I don't have. And a few of the sketches too. I wonder how I get some of those. I didn't unlock a last poem for Yuri or for Monica. Okay, never mind. I did get one for Monica. Okay, I didn't get a final poem for Yuri though then, right? Okay, I got one for Sayori, Natsuki, Monica. That's it. Sus. That's a little sus. An electrical signal from some remote corner of my brain, connecting all kinds of circuits and nerves and chemicals in a web understood by nobody. Chemicals make my chest tingle around my beating heart. The nerves make my hand move, staining a dead tree with some dark substance. The ink reflects light into your glimmering eyes. Holding this paper is almost as though you're holding my hand which wrote it. Literary emotions stir together until our hearts beat in harmony. Connected to each other, I feel electric. I don't really know if I get exactly what it means. Other than just like, feeling connected by somebody like reading her poem, you know? Me, the player, senpai. How do I get more? Do I have to reset the game? I've been kind of scared to. Okay, well, I think this will conclude the video for now. I may end up making another part and try to see if I can max out everything and if there's any like secrets or anything that I can find on the desktop. I feel like there probably has to be some more stuff. I don't know, I thought for sure I would get a final email like after I beat the main game, but or the side stories, but I haven't for some reason, so I'm a little unsure about that. So I might do some kind of screwing around and exploring on this and see if I can find out anything, and then either make another video with that or include it in this one. I guess we'll see, whichever one comes first. I may end up doing like an edited video too. I feel like it might be more convenient to do it that way, but we will see. Yeah, thanks guys for watching the video. Please leave a like and a comment and subscribe if you did enjoy it. And yeah, a lot of you guys did seem interested in me doing some Doki Doki videos, which I would really like to do because like I had so much fun just doing that theory part of like my last video. It really made me want to like make some analysis videos or something for it. But yeah, thanks guys for watching the video, and I will see you real soon.